All right, welcome to San Miguel TV. Welcome back, everybody. And I want to say welcome back to Captain of 150K, Chief Priest, Gabar. What's going on? How you
Hey, what's
doing?
going on, sir? Like I said, I had to give myself some extra juice, some extra rank up in there. I'm sure they got some new rank floating around now.
The title is so long, and I don't think it. Okay, there you go. Gabar
There we go.
Awar.
There we
Yeah.
go. Captain of 150,000 chief priests. Wow. Yeah,
What is Gabar?
imaginary
What is
ranks,
Gabar Awar?
being up in there, it can do stuff to you like that. You can start just making up imaginary ranks and positions. Like I see, as we was talking earlier, you didn't even know that they had initiated that rank, the chief justices, which is really just a stolen rank from the Supreme Court.
The Supreme
Those
Court,
are the chief justices.
Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. Yeah.
Yeah, that's we didn't even peep that. We were thinking he came up with some new catchy, um, holy title for the chief justices, which was basically some stooges that was being put into the Tuesday night councils to
Right.
act as if they were there judging and counseling as well too with the holy apostles. But that, brothers,
Yeah.
that lasted all of about 6 months before all of them was removed. And I think the last one ended up being left was like Nawak, who was in Omaha, and he never could even get up to the council. So you never seen him represent any type of councils or anything. That was a crazy rank. We were wondering, like, what does the chief justice do? The only thing we seen they was doing was pretty much getting busted after 2 or 3 councils.
When I came in 2004, Nawak was an apostle, which is the highest rank. I was one of the 12, even though they had about 7 heads or 8 or 9 people, I think, apostles at the time. Shortly, that number just started dropping, and I believe Nawak became homeless over the years. Somebody saw him sleeping at a train station, I think it was, one time.
Yeah, that's when he ended up getting sent to Omaha, Nebraska, shortly after. Yeah, because he was homeless in New York, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah. It came out, and I think it was around 2015, or maybe before that, maybe like 2012 or something. But yeah, speaking of 2012, that's kind of like where we left off in the first live that we did.
Right.
So this is a part 2 for anybody that saw Mr. Gabar War Gerari come on before. This is the continuation of this because there's a lot to go over, and I want to make sure that you guys hear everything that he has to say. Now, somebody on here says I was 5-star chief wizard myself. Yeah, there was a rank that I just heard called Special K rank. I never heard that one
Special.
before.
Someone had to been joking up on that one. I've never heard no special K rank.
Yeah, I think that a joke? I don't
That
know.
had to be a joke right there.
It went over my head, I
You,
guess.
you had you had some different ranks up in there, but yeah, special K. I never heard of that one. Special prosecutor. That was a position they tried to put up in there. Was like I told you, them fake special sessions in the General Assembly. Those they had what was called a special prosecutor for that, but we can get into that in a second too, though.
The special prosecutor. Okay.
Yeah. That was pretty much your district attorney that would then prosecute. Well, they switched it up. It was generally one of the apostles. When they set up the second order of the 12, they set up a special prosecutor would take the cases and he would prosecute the case. That would be the one to demonize you before the 42, and then pretty much them give you the option to plead guilty, and then that's when the session starts.
Yeah, because you're defending yourself, but then you got the prosecution coming at you.
Well, the prosecution just pretty much just slices you open and then throws you into the ocean with the sharks, pretty much. So
yeah.
they paint a false narrative of what happened, and then pretty much give you the option to plead guilty. Because if you plead not guilty, that you already know what's going to happen, especially if the Taz has it in for you. He's going to railroad you and then make you seem like the biggest demon ever. But you can plead guilty and say, no, I was wrong. I didn't understand the order, whatever. You still, if he wants to get you, was still going to railroad you as the biggest demon ever. So it was a lose-lose situation either way.
Wow. Yeah, because if you plead not guilty, it's usually very hard, depending on what kind of case it is and what kind of evidence is available. It's hard to prosecute someone beyond reasonable doubt. So,
the evidence was their word against yours. You couldn't bring anything that you could present on your behalf. You couldn't call any witnesses in on your behalf. They could call in about 18 witnesses on you, but you couldn't call in your own witnesses, present your own argument, anything. All you could do was be subject to the line of questioning, which was a total railroad session. And as I told you, this is how much of a setup it was. Let's say you're going in. Let's say, like I said, I give you the case that we talked about earlier. You had a sister up in there that was brought up before the special session, and the charges was cruelty and child neglect, because she locked her son. This boy is about 13, 14 years old. Locked him in a room for about 2 days, didn't feed him. I'm not sure if she was giving him water or not, but I know she was not feeding him for about 2 days. So we get to question, because she's being brought up on these charges as she's just tripping and just being evil as hell to the child. Right. Yashar from Florida. Yashar gets up and asks the question. He says, well, elect lady, what could he have been doing that was so wrong? Because she's beating around the bush, because she really doesn't want to explain what's going on, because it's so embarrassing. He said, what could the boy been doing so wrong that would make you do something like this? And she pretty much explains that he's been sucking on her breast when she falls asleep. She got a newborn child, and she said that her 13-year-old son has been sucking on her breast when she's asleep. And you could hear the pin drop in the room. Everyone was like, damn, what the hell is wrong with this boy? I immediately checked not guilty. Like, all right, not guilty right here. This sister, I would have slapped his ass up too and locked him in a room doing some old perverted madness like that.
Right.
Paz finds a way to come in and twist the whole situation on this sister, and pretty much make her seem like she knew this boy has issues. She should have been brought into counsel. And pretty much said that had nothing to do with the evil she displayed. And I seen right there, like, you know what? The judgments that go on in here did not make any sense whatsoever. But that's what those whole things was about, to just tear you down in front of all these people and belittle you. And it was just pretty much a session where if he wanted to get you extra outside the council, that's what it was set up for.
Right. Yeah, I have a lot of paperwork and things that you sent councils, all types of different things that we want to go over also, just so everybody knows. We're going to have like a presentation style live here. But yeah, I mean, if what year did that happen?
That had been like 2014, like 2014 or so.
Damn. So did the child ever get in trouble? I mean, this would be.
I mean, he wasn't. The child was nowhere to even be seen. That's how you know he just wanted to get the sister, because the boy that wasn't even brought up, and we didn't even know who this young man was.
Yeah. Somebody said, in other words, it was like a kangaroo court.
Exactly. Just that.
I was watching an episode of The Simpsons where they had some crazy trial in Australia where when you get judged, you get kicked in the butt with a big boot or something. You know, it sounds like something like that. But I mean, listen, when it comes to these trials and everything in there, it's like the word of Tazadakia pretty much is what matters, regardless of anything.
Well, that's what it was.
Really, yeah, nothing else. Really.
You had several, just like with that case, the special sessions. You had several cases where at times the chief priest would actually vote the person is not guilty. And if Taz came, it didn't even matter because he could pretty much veto or overturn an entire room of over 100-something people. They all voted guilty. And he said, I don't see how y'all didn't see this. He'd come and twist it, throw in some scriptures and the razzle dazzle. And now all of a sudden you, dang, I didn't see that. Just like what Karai was explaining. And I wasn't at his special session. For some reason at 2013, I missed. As a matter of fact, I was kind of ill during 2013. So I was missing a lot of them special sessions. So I missed his special session, but I heard about it in the way that he was railroaded and all that. And like I said, there's scriptures for you. You can go in there and sincerely be like, damn, I really thought I messed up, and plead whatever, say you were wrong and all that. And he had that scripture for you, how a man hangeth his head down low and it's all deceitful and all that. So if he wanted to pull that one up on you, it was just catch 22 either way. Yeah. So those special sessions, I didn't get introduced to them until after 2012 when we made it into the 42. We thought that was going to be some great honor or something like that. And it ended up just being a total damn, like I said, it was a circus. That's all that stuff was. It was total circus.
Yeah. I was around for some of that, but since I've been out since 2011, I missed 2012 and so forth. But I was keeping up because I was still a believer. So I was hearing about things. I was hearing about the spirituals was something that came out right around that time.
Right.
You had to pay for that.
Yeah. $200 you had to pay for something that if you was a ranking man, you was already getting these monthly anyway. They're called your monthly evaluations. So why did we have to now go and pay $200 for an annual spiritual? That was the monthly evaluation had more detail and information about you than what Tazadaki had about you to present you with a spiritual.
Did you want to show a spiritual so people could see?
Oh, go ahead. Pull it up.
Yeah, let's pull that up.
This is what $200 gets you up in there.
Yeah, this is
$200 gets you what is it? Damn carbon copy. They didn't even print you out original spirituals. You got a print. You got a copy of someone else's copy, and they just filled your name up on spiritual report. Some of y'all might still have this, and I guarantee all that have this, and you got your stuff put in a little plaque and hang it up in your room and all that somewhere. You got the same spiritual report that I got that year. All they did was just run off thousands of copies of the same report over and over again, and actually act like this man paid enough attention to you to sign off on all this.
Right. Man.
And so then when he seen how much of that people were seeing, like this got to be a scam, because you had the brother from Florida, Isaiah Nathan. Yeah, you know Isaiah Nathan from Florida. He was like the first one that I saw spoke out against this. He just put on his Facebook page $200 with 3 question marks. Right. And that's when he left after that, when these spiritual reports came. But I mean, look at this. Scriptures that we already know. Comments by the Holy God Sent Comforter. These are scriptures. How are these his comments now?
Yeah.
Your own salvation is the salvation of your souls. What does that mean?
Your own salvation
is the salvation of your souls.
Now, that's not a scripture.
No, that's the quote.
That's Tazadaki's words.
That's whatever he's trying to convey right there. This is not even a good breakdown right here.
Your own salvation is the salvation of your souls.
Yeah, we don't even want to get stuck. We don't want to get stuck on that. But this is ICGJC dogma at its best. But check out the one underneath verse 14. That's the key one that he wants you to definitely pay attention to right here. You see, that's a nice bold lettering. I'm surprised it ain't in all caps. But murmurings, private expressions of discontent or dissatisfaction, disputings, arguing over or about your duties or the work of God. Do all the work of God without murmurings or disputings. Never complain about your duties in the work of the Lord. So you see what the spirituals is really about.
Right. Shut up and do what I say.
Shut up and do what I say, pretty much. That's the last page. All right, I think I got one more on that one. That was what, 2015?
That's 2015, it says.
Okay.
And then this is page 2.
I wanted to see, though, because I looked at Minnesota's. Minnesota, we all definitely got the same spiritual. This one, we all got the same copy right here.
Right. So this
this is where he did pull the bait and switch on us, because he knew that people felt a certain way about this. So what was told was, throughout the year, every man is all supposed to come up for a personal counsel with the holy apostles, just them, and that will be their real spiritual. But you still got to pay the $200. So you got the paper copy. I guess the paper copy is kind of like your yellow copy of your license, when they can't quite give you the real card yet. You don't have the real thing till you go up to council. But this is the beginning of your spirituals.
Yeah. Yeah, this is just scriptures. And that's it. That's all I'm seeing here.
That's all you have right there. There's no private commentary from Taz whatsoever.
Yeah, this ain't, and it's not like Tazadakia knows everything that's going on with a brother in there anyway.
I got to rewind on something real quick that I see Brother Rick had said. Just where he said that you had to state what you voted not guilty. That was the other catch-22 on the special sessions, for just to show it was never set up to provide true justice to anyone that was called into those special sessions. If you got called into a special session, Tazadakia really had it out for you. And if he used that to throw you out of the church, he really wanted to do that, because you were, most of the time, anyone that got thrown out during the special session was in good standing in the church. So he had to he couldn't tear down your character privately. He had to make sure that was done in front of all your peers, so you lost all credibility when you eventually wake up and start speaking out. Now your credibility is shot. But just like I said, that's why I had you pull up the spiritual. Most of us whose characters was assassinated afterwards, we were in good standing in the church. We had good names in that church. We actually built the church to where it was at now. That's why the shit is all falling apart now, because the best men that was in there have either woken up and left, or was thrown out for frivolous nonsense. So the place will never be what it once was. But going back to what the brother was saying on how you had to vote, how you had to say what you voted not guilty of. The other catch with that was, let's say someone was brought up on charges. They had a good defense on what they did, and I decided to vote that they were not guilty. If I voted they were not guilty, once again, the General Assembly was every first Sunday of the month, or second Sunday of the month, one of them two. I think it was every second Sunday of the month. So if I voted not guilty on that Sunday, and Taz didn't decide to pass a judgment right then and there, and the case had to go up to New York that Tuesday or Wednesday, I had to now go and be at that case that went up before New York that Tuesday or Wednesday, and had to be there. So let's say I come from Minnesota. I fly to this special session that Sunday. I find this person is reasonably not guilty for whatever reason. Now I have to fly from Philly, or if I decide to go back home to Minnesota for a few days, now I have to be back in New York that next Tuesday or Wednesday. Who can afford to do all that? You know that people in there was voting guilty just because they knew they couldn't afford to drive all over or fly all over the country to go up into a council that you might not even be seen in. That was the other thing. that council might be called, and you might not even be dang seen in that council. They just call them in and still throw the brother or sister out, and you don't go in. You just went and wasted your money. So that was another catch. That whole General Assembly, we'll come back to that later because I got some notes from what we was talking about voting on in there, and it was insanity.
Well, yeah, I mean, out of the spirituals, I think this was the following year from that same email you sent me that there was a third. Yeah, because this says, oh, this is a holy rank review. This is what this is.
Which all tied into the spirituals.
So this was part of the spiritual. Okay.
Yeah, this all tied into the spirituals too. The holy rank review, that was the annual review of your ranks.
So you get spirituals, you get a holy rank review. You have, I remember it was a monthly high council that then became a quarterly high council. You have all these things that they're constantly judging you. And from what I see here, you were excellent in everything except you have average for unit work and camp participation.
Because if you're running the dang administration, the treasury, the Hebrew Academy, setting up seminars and all that, how much can you get out to camp? I mean, you can't be everywhere at once.
Right. Yeah.
And then that was still better than a lot of brothers' participation out there. So, I mean, even looking at this, I mean, this is, even though he might not have been paying attention to a lot of this stuff, but that your apostles over the areas, a lot of times they dealt with a lot of this stuff. This wasn't always Taz doing this.
Yeah. I see.
Is there another page on that? Oh, yeah, that was our unit name, Defenders of the Faith.
Gotcha. And it says your holy rank, your new rank or position is, and then it says rank retained 42 chief priests.
Right. So
you couldn't just keep your rank for a year. If you weren't doing good, you had this review pretty much that was going down.
Exactly.
And then, yeah. If you don't mind, I want to show a video that is still circulating on YouTube. It has 11,000 views from Free Press Media, Press Inc., where you can actually see yourself in the streets of Minneapolis with the Israelite Church of God in Christ here.
Oh, go up there. This is a throwback.
This is a throwback for real right here. Let me get to that right now. It is on YouTube still. We're gonna just play this so everybody can see more of your works here, because the spirituals say one thing, but here's a video.
Well, let's go to Deuteronomy 28 and let's just get the blunt of history and see if we can bring it home.
Oh yeah, this is old school. I'm still like a captain or a general in this one.
Again, now the Lord said he was going to bring us into Egypt. Egypt is a Greek word according to Exodus 20 and verse 2. You can reference this, which means slavery or bondage or captivity. Read on. So God said he's going to bring us into slavery. Read on. Again,
full confidence there.
The second time. Read on.
Where's this exactly?
That's downtown Minneapolis. That's a street we got called Nicollet Mall, like 8th in Nicollet. That was our main camp spot for years.
Right. That looks like a very what part is that, like downtown?
Yeah, that's downtown Minneapolis.
Yeah. There's a few videos. There's another one here that I want to play that has you this is probably better quality, because this one is old. It's a, let me see, what year is it?
That's got to be at least like 2011, 2010 maybe.
Yeah, it says 12 years ago, so yeah, 2011. I'm guessing.
Yeah, because if I'm still in red and white, I didn't get raised up into a chief priest until 2012.
Okay. So
that's how I know that's either 2011 or older.
Okay, so let's go back. Well, this one is, I guess this one would be This says December 27th, 2014. and this is in front
that's
of
that's with the thug camp.
the thug camp. Yeah. So let's take this is on 50 Tyson's page.
Oh, that's when we battling with the thug camp.
Yeah, it says downtown.
Yeah, that's the ACU where they put together this. And let me just stop this real quick, just for a hot second. Pause. I'm just gonna say this too. When you see the ACU put up their disclaimer, they even lied on that. You know, they said that the thug camp walked up to us and we actually ran up on them, is actually what it was. They was the verbal aggressors at first. But like I said, we just kind of, you can let it play. All I'm gonna say is that wasn't true how they said that the thug camp walked up on us. We actually ran up on them.
Yeah, there was a time when the Antichrist unit kind of, again, fell out of just existence. They just were not doing anything until years later. It was probably about a year or two as I was out of the church in 2014 already. And then all of a sudden they dropped this video with you in it. And it was years before they did anything. And then to drop this, it was kind of like, I don't know. They just wanted to show like they were, constantly showing like they're better than any other.
They had to show some strength, brother. That's all that was. I mean, I remember that that's what made this little young, because this was a young group of brothers, like in their early 20s. Like it looked like a little teenage gang, Israelite gang running around. And these was a bunch of young brothers, but they were so bold with speaking against us because the ACU wasn't doing nothing. Where our presence was starting to lose its traction right around 2014. You're starting to see other groups pop up. They're starting to get what we would consider somewhat organized looking. So you had a lot of back and forth between us and these other groups during these times.
Right. Yeah, there was this is the ISUPK, and he was also
that's a little unit merger thing they did in Baltimore right there. You got ISUPK uses this clip that they have this clip from their side too. They use that clip to say that Yohana prophesied about Tazadakia's, demise. Because he does speak against him and what says, God is going to kill him and all that. They took that and ran with that. Like now this dude is some prophet or something.
Right. So, okay. So I forgot they put this out there too. Because this is Alicia right here who I had on last week. I remember this too. There was always some back
about this
going on. Yeah. So what's this guy saying?
Production quality from the Antichrist unit is not much better than the one you just played.
Yeah, right. It's just typing on some screen, just a few texts here and there, and showing videos with some music over it. It's not. I mean, this is basic stuff here. The Antichrist unit is not really. I mean, they weren't really putting out production.
Once again, the best. Once you lose your best men, what can you really do? Once St. Ivan and some of those other brothers were out of the ACU, what happened to it? It just fell apart. It just went downhill. It became non-existent. It just shows you who really was running these different areas. It's like when you notice when certain brothers was removed out of position, things just went more and more downhill. There wasn't another brother that came and replaced him and did the job better. It was always a downgrade.
Yeah. And look what it says on the screen here before they play the video. It says, reminder to the believers, do not watch any Antichrist videos.
Right. Which never was followed.
No, I know I didn't follow that, man. So yeah, I'm going to just play this real quick.
Or be scary or scared or have his nose bro. That's what the Bible says. That's right. You can't do nothing either. So give me Matthew 3:1. Please prove to me that your leader is the Holy Spirit. Please prove it to me. Leviticus chapter 21, verse 5.
And it's a shame the fact that he was correct. Well, it's really not a shame, but it's a shame that we really thought that we were standing up for Christ and God and all that, and these brothers was correct.
Right. Yeah, they were.
So they threw out the distraction with an ancient term that no one even relates this definition to thug anymore and all that, but they went into the smoke screen stuff right here.
Oh yeah, of course.
And what else they're supposed to do? Neither shall they save off the corners of their beard. No, you can tell them as long as they're little young, you can do that. Neither shall they save off the corners of their beard. How you gonna be a grown man with no beard? Get the hell out of here. We have more time. We're doing this out of love. We don't hate y'all brothers. Y'all might hate us. We don't hate y'all brothers. We love y'all brothers. Go ahead. That's right. Chapter 21, verse 5. Go ahead. They shall not make bars.
You know the funny thing with that was, pause it for a quick second.
The corners of their beard.
The funny thing with that is when you actually look at these other groups, they did have a more down to earth. Like you could actually have a casual conversation with them, even though you believed in opposing differences of doctrines and all that. So, and he's saying we don't hate you, brothers, and all that. They didn't come with the same vehemency and hate that we came with and showed towards them, though.
Right. Yeah, we would we wouldn't be open to talking to them because they're not open to Tazadaka being the comforter, and we knew that immediately. So there was just no conversation to be had. Whereas maybe a brother from the ISUPK versus GMS or any other groups, they can get together and have disagreements on small things like who the tribe of Dan is or things like that are pretty small compared to us calling a man a Holy Spirit or a product or a product of the Holy Spirit, whatever. What did he say? A member of the I forget how he used to word it. An administration.
A part of the administration of the Holy Spirit was one term he'd say.
Yeah. So there was never going to be a conversation here. It was just back and forth. Right. You start asking him about the 12 tribe sign, I believe, here.
Yeah, I got a few questions for him, but like I said, we don't want this to go too much. I sounded real convincing during these times. So
yeah,
anyone get drawn back into
that.
The doctrine, listening to this.
Right. That's what I kind of just want to show real quick because this is a 30-minute video. So let's see here.
Above all other names. How can he have the name of the same as another man in the Bible if he has a name above all? Isaiah? Answer that question.
You talking about Isaiah?
No, I just said Jesus, who you say Yahweh Shai. Is that not the same name as Joshua in the Hebrew?
Yes.
So once again, how can you have a name that's the same as another man's, but yet it's above all names? Explain that. Scripture. Explain that.
We have to get the Hebrew and sit down.
No, we won't have to get the Hebrew.
You got members in the congregation that don't even know where I'm going with that. You have members in the ICGJC that can't even understand what I'm saying, and it's a doctrine they claim to believe in. We're arguing right now on Jesus Christ being Yahweh versus being who they call Yahweh Shai, which technically, I mean, the understand that he would have been called Joshua when he walked the earth actually does make sense. I mean, that's not a far-fetched thing. That was some old Taza doctrine that he threw in with the whole bait and switch of the name thing.
Yeah, because I mean, the name could just be talking about kind of like a reputation.
Yeah, but if you're going to go according to that, dang well that when Jesus Christ walked the earth, they were not calling him the name of the supreme deity as he walked the earth in the flesh. He had to have a fleshly name that he was being called, which according to their Hebrew, their Paleo Hebrew, not Heblish, It would have been their version of Yahushai, which the world says Yeshua or Yehoshua. I mean, I want to say the world just meaning the general public, what they would know as or relate to Hebrew.
Yeah.
And I don't want people to get all confused. He says the world. You know, the world is just seen as, you know, it's the enemy according to the doctrine we come from.
Yeah, a lot of people use that term. Some people in the military, when they come out of the military, they say, I'm going back into the world. Or when you're in jail too, they talk like that.
Right.
You know. Did you want to keep looking at this?
I mean, you can let like 10 more seconds ride and then go into something else.
Yeah, let's see what else you start talking about.
How do you know?
You got the Hebrew.
How do you get to get the
Because if you know, what does Hosea mean? What does Hosea mean?
Yahushua means.
What does Hosea mean?
No, we're saying Yahushua.
No, I know. But Hosea,
that is the name.
That's where you get the Hosea. Well, no, listen. That's where you get Hosea from. Hosea.
And Joshua.
You get Hosea.
You see, that's basic Hebrew deflection.
So the Yah in there is.
It's about who can out-talk who ends up having the better argument.
Yeah, because just talking over each other, and I can hear you pretty good too in this. I can hear you better than I can hear them. Yeah,
with no mic. I know that's like I said. We used to take credit as like we were the OGs of this Hebrew movement. No, that it's all the same nonsense. Yeah. It's like literally you have two brothers of the same cloth sitting there arguing about what? About dedication to a man. Is really what that boiled down to.
Yeah, we felt disrespected when people wouldn't give Tazadakia the same, honor as we would give him. They would try to honor Ariyah because he came out with the 12 tribe sign, and then I think you started getting into that with him about the 12 tribe sign. Like, who started that?
Where did you get the 12 tribe sign from? A classic ICGJC defense mechanism.
Right. So in like 2013, I think was when the dog came out too. I don't know if we got to talk about that last time.
No, we didn't, but we got to reverse because 2012 was big. I mean, you can't just reverse. That was the year of the tribes. Something right now that is, what is it? We're about to be in 2024. We're about to be 12 years off from the 2012 prophecy of all the tribes coming in a numerable number. We're supposed to be seeing Don Lemon with the dang shield of David around his neck and all these different things. We got the ambassador of the kingdom set up, boys to men, to bring these big figures into the truth and all that type stuff. Right. 2012 came and went. He blamed all the high ranks for why the tribes didn't come. And he said, the tribes was meant to come in, but y'all weren't ready for them to come in yet. But don't worry about it. 2013, they're coming. And then he had the nerve to throw it. And by 2013, we definitely will be a force to be reckoned with. Was his own words right there. 2013 came, nothing came and went. And that's where 2013, I actually ended up getting kind of sick. So I wasn't in the church a lot. I still held my rank, but I was in the church. I wasn't in the church a lot. And that's when I had seen that whole voodoo doll damn sham that he tried to come up with. And that's literally what that would have been, was a damn voodoo doll sitting in damn messing people's minds up. Can you imagine the nonsense and craziness that would end up in the households if that doll would have made it into the nation?
Right. Yeah. I mean, people would be looking at it, cleaning it. Don't touch it. The kids start messing with it. Don't touch it.
You already got it in this old bright, high yellow garment. Easy as hell to get stained and all that. You would have had some kids getting beaten and all that behind that doll.
Yeah, I could see that for sure. Man, that's crazy.
Like I said, little stuff like that was gradually slipped in on us because just like the Archangel Award. It's like that share. You got this damn black Apollo doll with some wings up on it. And you actually got the nerve to tell people that this thing is not an idol. When you got people like Boys to Men, even though they've woken up no longer in that madness no more. But when you got them talking about, they Grammys and all them other awards don't mean nothing. They hold up this little cheap plastic Archangel Award. What do you think that people is really going to do? I mean, they're going to make that as an artist their life's achievement to get one of them little Archangel Awards dolls.
That's crazy. Brothers that won Grammys.
Won Grammys, and they told that don't mean nothing compared to this dang Archangel Awards doll. That's
crazy.
That was a whole nother distraction right there, the Archangel Award. That's why we titled this Never Forget. This is us, for those that's on, just us kind of just rapping about a few different topics of madness that went on in that place. Some exposure to some things, but never forget. You're not going to forget when you really think about this stuff. And I was combing through these notes, I was like, this was a lot of time of madness and insanity you put into your brain. So you're not just going to forget this type of stuff overnight like that. It's just not going to happen.
No, not at all.
And that's what kind of made me, as I was going and combing through all this stuff, because I've been kind of distant for since we did this last show. I've been getting all this stuff together. You see, I just sent you a gang of stuff, and I even touched the tip of the iceberg yet with what I got. So as I'm looking at all this stuff, I just had to take a deep breath, like, wow, this shit really happened to you. Like, where you're looking at all the programming and the brainwash. I'm looking at counsels of women asking grown men, is it all right for them to take birth control pills so they can regulate their menstrual cycle so they can attend the Sabbath? You got women, dang, hormones are all out of whack, all out of control.
Yeah.
And they're going asking men that are not doctors, that are not physicians, about medical problems, about different ailments and all that. And you're asking men that are not licensed in none of this on their opinion on this stuff. Right. Total madness.
Now, what time was the Sabbath classes? How long would this last? What time did it start? What time did it end?
The crazy thing, when we first started up, Sabbath was like 2 to 5 when it first started up. That's why I say how we kind of got baited in. Because in most churches where the thing got set up, most places weren't set up under that strict rule. When Thahawam got here, that's when we started going from 9 a.m. until sundown. We were going from 9 a.m. till sundown.
You sent me something on that, actually. Hold on, let me pull that.
I might have sent you something.
Yeah, I'm looking through it right now. Actually, this is 2018. It looks like it was sent to you, and it says, currently updates and operations.
Can you blow this up a little bit?
Yeah, let me blow it up. Let's put this here, and then let's see, view it, zoom in.
All right. Brother, watch this one, because I might have some embarrassing stuff up in here. This is a report I think I sent to Rakai Kazak.
Okay.
Yeah.
You like the top of it, I guess.
No, I was going to skim down because I'm not going to be ashamed of it. It's a brother that's on him. This brother, if he's in this report, I'm just saying, this is the type of stuff that goes on in the ICGJC. I'm trying to see. It was one where, let me see, scroll down. So.
But yeah, it says, as of now, class times and schedule remains the same, Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. to 10:30, Sabbath service, 9 a.m. to 3:30. But then there'll be unit work all of these different days too.
Yeah, because what happened was, for a while we were going, when Thahawam came up here, we were going from 9 a.m. till sundown. And then when he left, the other brother that came after him tried to go until sundown, and Tiles wasn't feeling him like that. So he said, no, brother, you end your Sabbath at 3:30. And that's what we started doing, because I'll be honest, brother, I didn't feel the need to be keeping people there all the way down till the sun went down. That was kind of oppressive to me, especially when we could have been doing other stuff as far as the men. So we will end up realistically about 4:30.
Can you read that good? You need me to go more?
No, I can see everything. I'm trying to see, is this one where it had a brother that just had a habit of eating out of the trash? Like he had no good reason to not do it, and he just liked it. He didn't like to, he had some like disorder where he didn't like to see stuff go to waste. So he would always be caught eating out of the trash after brothers. And the young officers would always report this brother.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, we brother. That's why I keep on saying people. That's why I wasn't trying to make light of it when y'all was doing y'all last live. But where I said you had a lot of mentally disabled brothers with rank that was in that place. Like,
yeah,
it's one thing to be physically disabled. You at least still have your mind and competence and marbles. But when you're mentally challenged, you don't put no man like that in a position of authority over people. And that's what you had going on up in there. Men that had mental disabilities, didn't work and all that. And you order around brothers that's competent brothers that's been, that's just new up in there.
Yeah. I see you had a prison ministry set up too. Who started that?
Oh, snap. That was a brother that was locked up, actually. Wrote us a letter and got the prison ministry started. This brother by the name of Cashapp actually got the prison ministry started in Minnesota. And that I'm not gonna lie, the prison ministry kind of spread like wildfire because I mean, what else do prisoners have better to do than get another program into past time? So the prison ministry picked up, and it was a new religion that was catchy and all that. So we had about 4 prisons running in Minnesota at its peak.
Yeah, I see Stillwater Prison, Faribault Prison, that was already started, and there's Rush City Prison, and then it says your current goal was to get the Oak Park Heights prison, which is maximum security prison, and that there's all types of stuff happening here.
And the only thing that stopped that from being opened up is I lost my rank, to be honest. If not, we would have opened up Oak Park. But that just showed you how Taz had no common sense. Like when he removed people out of position, a lot of time he didn't even think about how much it will affect the operations of that particular church or area because you're removing the most capable man out of position.
Yeah, right. Yeah, there was a lot going on here. This is already by 2018. So you had it says you got cable shows going on.
Yeah. So that's funny. At 2018, this is right around my ending within the ICGJC. Where are we at? Let me see. Yeah, main incidents, issues. Yeah, those there. That was the little incident report and all that. So this was a weekly report that I sent to Rakai Kazak, who was one of the 12, was the apostle over our area. Aside from, because most of the time I used to report to Shar most of the time, actually. From 2012 until like late 2018, I didn't even have to deal with the 12. I dealt directly with Shar for my reports.
Gotcha. Yeah, there's like one case of adultery here, I see.
Yeah, keep on going.
Then you say you got a 50-seat charter bus on reserve for guess that's the Passover that was happening in Atlantic City.
Yeah. And that was a new one. We was all excited and geeked up on that one because it was a different experience. We finally got out of
Edison, right?
Where it was not Madison.
No, Edison.
Yeah, Edison. Yeah, that
Edison,
damn arena in the middle of nowhere.
I remember that one because that was the last Passover I attended in 2011.
So you missed the spaceship Passover in 2012 where Negro came down and teleported like the damn Predator out of yeah, you missed that one.
Yeah, this
dude literally had a spaceship come down and beam his ass damn up out of the Passover stage, and everyone thought that was the tightest thing ever, and they don't even realize how much money that costed their ass just for that damn fake special effects and all that type stuff. Which for the life of me, I couldn't understand that. How is it that you are always bragging and boasting of spending $1 million for the Passover, but finances was always an issue up in there?
Right. Yeah.
That started being their opening boast is we spend over $1 million every year up on the Lord's Passover, but finances was always of the urgency up in there. We never had enough finances, which for the life of me, I couldn't understand, especially for a church that was sending on average, Minnesota probably at least $18,000 a month up.
Yeah.
On average. We didn't get to that because I sent that to you in some records, but we got to comb through that another time.
Yeah, well, we have a lot of stuff to talk about, man. But it looks like Minnesota was up and running, man, by the time all this stuff was going on. I mean, but going back, I guess you wanted to go back to 2012, or did we cover everything from 2012?
No, Ivan, my brother Ivan just brought up a good point. The revealing of the 12 apostles. So we forgot about that in 2012. When they changed the name up, Passover came. They, you know what? It's the verse where it says, "And the names of the 12 are these." This Negro had the nerve to replace the names of the original 12, and he got the new order of the 12 up and got their pictures, putting up their names and all that. And that didn't even sit right with me then, where I was just looking like, why are we? I get what y'all are trying to say. You're trying to keep the order, but that's kind of bold, where you got the original apostles and you're replacing their names and got these brothers' pictures up. But you see now, that was just more of the indoctrination and all that he was doing with us. Them visuals and all that. That's big. A lot of people don't pay attention to that with all these Israelite groups. It's not just the ICGJC, but pay attention to the teaching format of these groups. Like when you're in these classes now, look at all the special effects and all the extra theatrics they throw out in the teaching. Like you go to an IUIC class, that joint is like a concert now. You go up in there, and what tribe are you from? Judah. And you got the bombs going off and lights and all that type stuff. We was getting caught up in that on a low level in the ICGJC, where they was throwing in the little ad libs and effects and all that, slowly indoctrinating, because they were doing things that we hadn't seen these other groups or even the churches do at the time.
Gotcha.
And then you young and dumb and didn't know much either. Like I said, all of us came in there in our early 20s, some people in their teenage years and all that. We just didn't know much as we was coming up in there. You were young, impressionable men and women, was just trying to find your way, and you got caught up with some damn wolves. Is all that ended up happening.
Right. St. Ivan says across the planet, there's like 5 people calling themselves the Comforter right now.
Yep, you got one in Africa, I believe. You got a nutcase, I want to say in Australia somewhere. Yeah, that's not uncommon now.
Yeah, Yahweh ben Yahweh, I believe, did the same thing. I mean, he's calling himself Jesus Christ pretty much. That King Yahweh or whatever, what's his name, man? There's like that thing. I can't believe that thing's still going on. And St. Ivan sent me something earlier. I was bugging out looking at this thing. I've completely just been ignoring the Yahweh ben Yahweh church. I mean, that's what it is, right? Did you see that, Gerari? I don't know if you saw that. St. Ivan said he sent both of us that, like a video from TikTok earlier.
If it's the one they did on the comparisons to Yahweh ben Yahweh, definitely.
Yeah.
But yeah, I done seen a gang of stuff on Yahweh ben Yahweh. That's what the ICGJC now is. It's Yahweh ben Yahweh. It's the Temple of Love 2.0. Because now you are now the same thing we used to damn ridicule and make fun of them to a T on. Y'all worshiping a dude that's dead. Y'all worship a dude that got locked up. Right. They're doing the same thing now. Your leader is dead. You're supposed to be like, hold on. According to Doctrine, this cannot happen. So, yeah. I mean, how are you not figuring out? That was the worst thing that Taz did, is that he passed away and kept them sealed in the lie. He didn't even have a chance to really come out and just keep on being embarrassed for people to eventually wake up and see him for the fraud he was for themselves. He died in the lie, and that like just seared something in some of them people's brains where it's harder for them to wake up right now. I mean, what they're doing to themselves right now is the most damaging thing ever. You're just holding on. And the longer you hold on, you're losing time on resources you're going to have to rebuild. That's what's going on right now.
I just want to address this guy. I don't know. He's going on and on about different things. We're not Hebrew Israelites. We're ex-Hebrew Israelites that used to be in the ICGJC, which is the Israelite Church of God in Jesus Christ. So I don't know what he's talking about, but just to address that.
No, sometimes people they just want to go into doctrines and all that. It's like we're on something totally different right there. That's a whole different time for a different place, which I don't mind addressing. Like I know brothers and sisters have veered off into different understandings and doctrines. Me and you go back and forth on some of your civil views and all that we're gonna get on another time. But right now we're kind of on this topic, the history and stuff. Brothers want to go into that, would be another day and age. So you can
we're just gonna ignore that guy. Yeah, we'll just ignore that guy. But yeah. So I'm gonna go back to some of these things that you sent me. There was a lot of talented brothers, and you sent me 3 songs by one brother. Forget his name. What was his name?
Oh, this is a man. Look, I know this brother is in there on the full Kool-Aid on steroids. Love the brother, but I know he's in there. He got raised up to a chief priest. So I know he crazy as hell now. This brother Dowie from Minnesota. He was a talented artist, in my opinion. You know, some people may not like his personal ways, but that was a good dude up in there with me. Me and him was always straight, and he was a good artist.
Did he ever perform at the Triple A's?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, yeah. When he submitted these tracks, he got picked to perform at the Archangel Awards.
Right. Yep. They probably think he's gonna come back from the dead like Christ. Yeah, they do actually.
Yeah,
they do think that.
That's why I say they've been turned into the new temple of love. That's what's Yahweh ben Yahweh's cult, and that's what they're doing. I mean, you're really waiting on this dude to come in. Like I said, Vocab had Basil on the ropes when he was asking about the 2 witnesses, and he just didn't go in the way he should have. Like I said, but
yeah,
you heard Basil say that. Yes, he pretty much said, yeah, they do expect him to come back from the dead, but so he didn't sound so crazy. He had to say, why would you not believe that can't happen? And he's went into, how other people have raised from the dead and all that. So he indirectly said, yes, we are waiting for him to resurrect from the dead.
So he's saying it's supposed to be an amazing, extraordinary event, but while at the same time saying, oh, it's not that extraordinary. It's not that amazing.
Exactly.
Like what? That's exactly your point. And it's like, if it's not that amazing, you would see that constantly happening. It is. So to believe that you don't have to answer for your reasoning behind this is crazy. It's insane. It's like, yes, we see things in the Bible. That's the reason why people believe it. It's because it's in the Bible. But why do you believe Tazadaki is going to come back from the dead when he died on April 1st, 2020? He's been dead and he was cremated. He was cremated.
Exactly.
That's what happens when you catch COVID. I believe they were just straight cremating them at that time. I don't know if they're still doing it like that, but if you catch COVID and you die.
Just on that note, like I said, you got people. I understand why some people don't go into it too much. They go into, the man had family and kids and all that type stuff. I understand some people's reasons for not going into it that deeply. But at the end of the day, like I said, I had COVID. COVID is not no joke. You could have 1 minute you're totally conscious. The next thing you know, you're just sleep damn near passed out. So when people all that, well, I wonder if he repented and all that stuff, we don't know upon that. He could have went up in that mug and been, Doc, I don't feel too good. And the next minute he's out on a ventilator, didn't repent on nothing. So you really don't know. But at the end of the day, we know that's not as much of high of reverence in the position he put himself in. Dang well, that's not how God would have taken out the gods and comfort alone in a hospital, packed in with a whole bunch of other people in one of them refrigerators. Because at that time, they wasn't playing with COVID in the bodies. He was stacked in like an average John Doe with a bunch of other people and all that on April Fool's Day. and no one wants to speak on this. I mean, they're in denial, like we weren't in those same classes where he's saying, when I get the flu and all that, I destroy it. There's no disease that can take me out. As a matter of fact, on his own website, and it's not to just go in on him, but he's the king on the chessboard still with that place. So you still have to take out the king. You have to destroy that. You can't pussyfoot around when you're speaking on this comforter doctrine and who Tazadaki was. You'll never get through to people that way when you're trying to play around with it, because he's the centerpiece of their brain and worship right now. Right. But you know dang well that is not the way you expected to see him go out, as much as he's talking how dang indestructible he was. On his own website, he said that the forces of this world would try and take me out this year and would fail miserably. Not like this year. This was an older quote on his website before they reformatted everything. He said they tried to take him out and they'd fail miserably. How is it now that you actually have the apostles? They don't know if they want to blame chaos or the devil for taking him out. They don't know what it is. When you read that letter, that sounds like a bunch of confused madness. When they put out the letter finally addressing the congregation a week later after the man died,
right?
It sounded like a bunch of confused madness. They didn't want to know if they wanted to say Satan took him out. Was it chaos that took him out? And then we know, according to their doctrine, it makes it hard to blame either entity when we know that what you teach, well, the issues of death come from the Lord. So according to our doctrine, a fly can't even drop dead on the earth unless the Lord commissions it. So how can you blame Satan for taking out Tazadaki? I mean, it doesn't make sense according to your own doctrine.
Right, because then he even said on that chaos thing, he said that you got to choose to die first, and then God honors that. Or he said something crazy
the sentence
like
of death.
Sentence of death.
I got that DVD sitting around here somewhere. I still got to put out there. My offer of the complete DVD bundle for members that see this, it still stands. We got to start putting like my number on the screen, brother, so they can contact me if they still want to buy this package. They just sitting around collecting dust right now. It's at least 400 DVDs that I'll sell y'all $400 even. That's a serious deal right there.
Yeah. No, I know we've been using some of that. I know I've been using some of that to put some videos up, because there was a lot of things said that I don't think they want.
I want to go into it, but brother, it's so painstaking going and listening to the chalkboard voice as he's going into these scriptures, and you can clearly see how wrong what he's talking about is. It's a lot to go through. And then, like I said, all them DVDs now, when you look at them now, that's the amazing thing now too. Look at the subject. Each DVD has a title. When you watch them DVDs now, you see like this nigga never finished the topic of the DVDs when he went into a class. By 30 minutes in, the DVD is all over the place on something else. You never really got to a solid subject breakdown in those DVDs. And you were out of there when they started adding these crazy ass commercials in the DVDs, wasting even more of your time. They would have like little cameos of them playing like Ray and damn good time skits and all types of madness, low budget madness. And I meant to show the people this one time. What's your $20 start? Actually, I think it went to $21.99. What your $21.99 started getting you in the later years, it started getting you complete nonsense. But yeah, the DVDs, that was a whole nother hustle. We can get to that another time too.
Listening to him like nails on a chalkboard, right?
Someone knows what I'm talking about. Them stupid skits that I'm talking about. They had a couple with some there was some good actors up on there. So there were some good actors on there, but a lot of it was all nonsense. Because right now the people is acting like they still believe in this right now. You have to be a good actor right now to still be a faithful ICGJC member, and you're confessing this stuff. That's some excellent acting skills right now. Because you know at the bottom of your heart and soul, you're thinking to yourself, what the hell happened to our church? They know they're thinking that right now. Like, what happened?
Yeah, they have to be.
None of this is... I was just reading my notes. Like I said, these are all a bunch of my old notes and stuff like that. I wish I could pull this close up. This is some of these General Assembly notes. That was 9/11, 2016. This is where we came together, y'all, to vote on the most stupid stuff like toilet paper, what type of toilet paper we should be using in the church. When it came to things like I was telling you, like, everyone knows that the churches could have used church transportation, like vehicles to pick up elderly and women and all that stuff. All those ideas was always shot down in those type of meetings. We would have, and then, like I said, if you had a good idea, let's say you wanted to get all brand new air conditioners for the church in Florida. I'd say every church in Florida needs brand new air conditioners. Y'all in there burning up in the summertime. Don't you know that if you presented that idea, you now had to finance the idea yourself? That's why, for the congregation that wonders why nothing ever got done to really improve the church, that was all Tazadaki's fault. He had those meetings set up for nothing to move forward. Once you presented an idea, it was the other apostles and chief high priest's job to tear down your idea and point out every last flaw with your idea, even if it was a good idea and plan. And then if it was a good idea and it went to a vote and they decided to pass it, you then had to go up to New York and present your idea before the Holy Apostles. And then if it passed there, you also had to finance whatever your idea was. So let's say you wanted to get 20 new church vans. You now had to come up with a way on how you were going to pay for those 20 church vans. But it's like, what is our tithes and all our offerings go for? Shouldn't that money that the nation has brought in be used to now better the nation? We're just the administrative body voting on what's best for the nation. It just shows it was never about progress for the nation. And then a lot of times the catch for something to not get voted on too was there's already a department dealing with that. You would see the media department is not doing their job and you want to make a tweak to the apartment to make it better. And they'll say, well, no, the media department's doing that. That's an infringement on the department. And the nigga got so greedy, he actually started fining us. If you came with an idea during the General Assembly that was already presented or an infringing on another department, you are now fined like $100 or $200 for infringing on the another department. So, I mean, it was just all a catch-22. And this was the stuff people don't realize that's going on in the greatest nation ever. A bunch of people that couldn't even vote on common sense ideas to push the church forward. So that was a big smokescreen right there, because 2012, a lot of us got put into the chief priesthood. So a lot of us newer brothers in different churches, we was just getting caught up with the gimmicks, the 42 meetings, the Archangel Awards. He was speaking on the Brother Dawiyad before this and some of the music I had sent you. Things like the Archangel Awards, Summer Jam, all these distractions.
Yeah. Every year, you got 3 picnics in the summer. You had a birthday party that Tazadakia, he we would get ordered. I don't know who sent these orders out to wish Tazadakia a happy birthday via like video or something. You know, we all got together and wished him happy birthday one time. And I was like, is he commanding people to do this?
No, that wasn't. I don't think that was no nation order. We never got that order up in Minnesota. We never got that one. So
it must have been Yashar. It must have been just an Orlando thing. Yashar probably thought about doing this. I don't know.
That was an idea that came through our General Assembly, though. Was and like I said, you're talking about stuff that's supposed to improve a nation. It got so bad where it was so hard to get an idea, or what we called a proposition pass. You had brothers just coming in, just making up whatever they could just to follow the assignment of coming up, because you had to come up with a monthly proposition every time you came there. It had to be like something new. So brother was just coming up with everything. I remember brother came up with that idea too, said, no, the proposition that would make the nation better be to wish all the chief, whenever it's a chief priest's birthday, all the chief priests would have to send them a text and wish them a happy birthday. I'm like, what the hell has this got to do with making our nation better and improving anything? So it just got to be frivolous nonsense to start happening. Nothing ever was able to get past in that month.
Wow.
But it was mainly, like I said, it started being where we started having more of the special sessions, which was the prosecutions, than we had on voting for things to make stuff better for the church anyway. Because sometimes those special sessions, you might have 10 special sessions in one day. So imagine having pretty much 10 councils, and they can last for however long Taz wants it to go. Right. So it got to the point where we started cutting the proposition started being cut pretty short, and we just started focusing on tearing people apart up in there.
Yeah, that was a big thing in there, was tearing your spirit apart, breaking you, and making sure that you don't feel special.
Oh yeah, if you shed tears, if you was in a special session and you start crying, that was a good way of getting a little bit more leniency. Like you got to break down and shed some tears and all that. That was a good way to get some mercy up in there.
Yeah, I saw Tazadakia.
People crying for some reason.
I saw Tazadakia just scream on Brother Amath one time, and he had already admitted he was wrong. He was apologizing, and Tazadakia just kept pushing it. And I remember feeling for the brother, like, damn, like, how much more can you get? How much more, apologies can you get? He was just, I'm sorry, Salaki, sir. I don't know what I was thinking, blah. And he just kept getting on him to the point where the brother just started crying in front of Tazadakia. And I was like, wow. That's actually a thing that sociopaths do, and narcissists. They want to make sure that they got you wrapped around their finger, so they want you to cry. They want to get you to that next level. They don't just want an I'm sorry. They want you to cry. And that's one thing I saw with him. I was like, whoa, this is right away, the first thing I started looking into was a sociopath, traits of a sociopath, the traits of a narcissistic sociopath. That was like the first thing that really hit me. I was like, wow, this is exactly what this guy is. He fits that definition to a T.
Well, that's what you see, though. But you see how that whole vibe is transferred amongst the diehards that's up in there. They develop that. Well, I can't even say develop. To me, that place, I'll just put it this way. If you already was an asshole, that place is just going to inject you with the steroids to be the supreme ass that you need to be, because it promotes that type of bad behavior up in that place. I mean, it promotes men not having a job. It promotes men not being there taking care of their families because you don't have time. You're being, and it's not saying that these are bad brothers that want to be deadbeats, but the doctrine of the church, it forces you into this where you really cannot be there the way you're supposed to be, as even dealing with your own families.
Right.
But then you also do got some brothers where they wasn't damn on about nothing before coming in there, and that place they got slapped with a garment and some rank, and it just made them more of a damn ass as they was in there. So that could happen too.
Right.
Because you had cases where you just would read the damn council paper and like, man, this nigga is no good. You literally looking at the case for what it is. Like, this dude is dead ass wrong in everything he's doing.
Right.
From damn women in there having their entire income taxes snatched up by a brother that ain't working. And these is things that you being ordered to do. Right. You literally are getting up and going work and paying a brother that don't work all your money. You've seen all that stuff going on. Brothers giving their wives STDs and stuff up in there. All this stuff was going on up in there.
Yeah, that was definitely a thing that.
And that's where you just that scripture where it goes, it reminds where it says how wrong judgment proceedeth. You do have people in there that was put out of there according to doctrinal reasons that sometimes was justified. Sometimes, I mean, you got brothers in there having melees and all that. Oklahoma City, them brothers up in there, they took the damn full contact in the Hebrew Academy sparring to the next level. These brothers are in there having a full-blown brawl in a hotel while they're supposed to be doing Hebrew Academy. That's a whole nother story right there. Like I said, if we just let them put like a hidden camera in every ICGJC, we would have just years of comedy content to like, what is this place? But that's just one story. I don't want to get too sidetracked.
The first day of the Hebrew Academy in 2005, when Tahawan brought that out here, there were brothers throwing up. We were so out of shape. We just weren't ready, and then we were getting pushed to like really like push it to the limit. Doing laps. Then it eventually led to just we just have to do one lap. I think that was it.
That was the other thing too. I'm wondering because we had a brother up here with the Hebrew Academy. Oh my God, that's a whole nother just like special thing. We'll just have to title the Hebrew Academy. But yeah, we had that too because I was rolling. I'm sorry. I had to apologize on the brothers last week from Florida where you said the brother had you had the brothers having brothers doing lions dens and push-ups next to the fire ants hills and all that. I'm sorry, I'm in Minnesota, bro, but I know about fire ants. It's like, what type of satanic damn camp leader was you over? They got you literally doing push-ups next to a fire ant hill. That's where it's just time for some insubordination at that point. I'm sorry, but it just shows you how much someone had your mind wrapped up where you're looking at, damn, brother, these are some big ass damn ants right here. And you want me right here doing push-ups next to these mugs as I'm probably annoying the hive where they coming up even more because they feeling my weight and all that up on this. I mean, that is crazy to me. But we had situations like that up here where you had a brother almost kill a brother in the Lions. And once again, a total buffoon that had no business with rank. Brother was a cool brother. It was a Quan, but he had no damn business with rank. Ivan might remember who this brother is. He was the chief priest that was in Minnesota. He got busted within like 3 weeks of him being raised up at a General Assembly because this brother just could not. I'm gonna leave that alone. But this brother almost almost killed a brother. Because the
General Assemblies are the special sessions, right?
The General Assembly and special, it's two different. The General Assembly is the overall meeting. The special sessions, what takes place, is a part of the General Assembly. Like when a council had to come in, someone needed to be prosecuted. So that was a part of the General Assembly.
Gotcha.
But I want to get back to my story with this brother. He got this one brother. This is where you're talking about the out of shapeness. The brother had caught a lion's den. And then you got this brother is just working the hell because I know the Lions Den varied in every area. With Minnesota, it was like 500 push-ups, 200 jumping jacks, like 20 suicides, and then you had to write for this. I have to say it right now. This nigga that was over us at that time, I gotta call him for what he was now, had us writing sentences too. He would pick the longest scripture he could think about and have brothers writing sentences up in that mug like they was little kids. That's why I say his brother had a nigga spirit on him. I'm not mad.
Oh, I think we lost you there, Gerari. These stories, man, you wonder why people still remain. Why do people remain in there after all of that? You know, that's something I wanted to get into also and ask Gerari. Why do you think that these people remain in there? Like, what is it that happens to you as a human being that we can now talk about it? Yeah, we're like, man, shake my head. While we were in there, we seen the same issues, the same problem, but for whatever reason, we could not leave that place. Like, I don't know. You feel like you're trapped in there. You feel like you don't want to be there, right? I think there comes a time when you feel like you don't want to be there, but we got you back there. We lost you for a second.
Yeah, I hit the wrong button. I'm on this dang computer right now. Hold on.
Okay.
All right, there we go. We I think I was on this brother that dang had us. I just ended off on the sentences and all that type of stuff. Just total oppression, because you had men, just like what a brother said, men that never really played in leadership positions, and they just got in these positions and they just lost their mind and went over their head. That's why I said it before. By the time we got raised up in 2012, and that's funny because that whole damn nigga over oppressive vibration was on well, I keep on hitting all types of buttons on this mug. But yeah, that oppressive vibration, it was on a lot of these different churches throughout the ICGJC, like in that early 2000 to like 2008. Like a lot of them dudes that was in these positions, they was overly oppressive in the positions. I'm hearing brothers in Florida was saying that, man, I lived in the lion's den when I was in Florida. Like any reason Yashar had to throw us in the lion's den, he would just throw us in the lion's den. You ain't thinking on how you, because with us, we had to do the lion's dens after the Hebrew Academy. We didn't go on during the Hebrew Academy. You had to stay back after the Hebrew Academy and do all your lion's dens. And these niggas didn't think of how you're taking men away from their quality time from their wives and children and all that because you want to be on some power trip. And that vibration was because Oklahoma was dealing with a lot of that. I heard that they was seriously oppressive over there. We know New York was the damn gauntlet. The tri-state area, that was the gauntlet. New York, Baltimore, and Philly, we know they was catching it with the oppression.
Did you have to do this? They St. Ivan said that everybody had to take their shirt off and take a picture. I don't remember that one.
I don't remember that one either.
Yeah, I don't remember that one at all.
Yeah, I don't remember that one.
That's crazy. If only certain brothers got that order, brother. We need you to take your shirt off, brother. Take a picture.
And like I said, that's what
everybody have to do this.
Some brothers was floating around that there was some borderline, low-key, possible homosexual vibrations floating around with some ranks that was trying to creep that up in there. You never know. Yeah, brother. It's a special order from the boss. We need all y'all to take your shirts off and line up. Don't tell nobody though. You never know up in there. There's stuff brothers would try and get away with, hoping that Ty's never found out about it.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, I never heard that one. I know we all had to take like a STD test or something at some point before the Hebrew Academy. We all had to give our social security number.
Man, I never made the men do that. I never made them go and get STD checks and all that, even though I should have. But I never made them do that for the Hebrew Academy. I just said, no, what, y'all just, that's not necessary. You're not getting courted. You're not courting anyone right now.
Well, yeah, I wonder what would that have to do with the Hebrew Academy? If anything, maybe that should be done before somebody gets into a courtship.
Yeah, that's what would make the most sense.
Yeah, because there's people that get together. When me and my wife got together, we went straight to
that actually was one of my ideas I presented for my General Assembly, was that I wanted to make it mandatory that if you entered into a courtship, you had to get an STD check, and they shot that one down too. And know what their reason was? They said, have you ever been to a courtship council before? I said, yes, sir. Well, the Holy Apostles do all that in courtship council. I wanted to say they didn't do that in mine. They didn't ask nobody about no STD check or nothing when I went to any courtship council. But those are just the shenanigans that we put out to not get stuff passed that was productive.
Okay, so it was actually an HIV test in case someone got hurt during the training.
So they said.
Somebody says that was a requirement in the 90s. I guess that test was a thing in the 90s. Somebody's saying, Joanna.
I'm going to say it again. That whole HIV thing, in case someone got hurt during the training, so they say. That's just another reason for them to be intrusive and in your business.
Yeah, there was a lot of that
something against you.
Yeah, there was a lot of that going on. The councils that's why I never wanted to have a council. It was like they're just, I'm gonna come out of this thing without a rank, crying. Something's gonna happen where I'm gonna be pissed off.
If you looked at the most rational people up in there, never went in for personal counsels. Most people that was rational didn't really need counsel like that. It was always the nutcases that stayed in counsel, like personal counsel. Yes, I need the holy apostles to go and read my spirit and tell me what's wrong with me and all that. It's like, how can you live your entire life in a church that way? Every month, something is wrong with your spirit where you need to go up for counsel. You're in the wrong building then. That's what you're supposed to come to conclusion of. I'm obviously not growing here because why do I need counsel for the demons in me every month? People just started making up stuff up in there, their own damn psychosis they went into up in there.
I'm looking at the ranking men. There was 26 ranking men in Minnesota in 2017. I'm seeing here. One brother looks like he was AWOL. Two of them had legal issues, probation restrictions. Oh, this is for the major council. I see. I see. So, but and this grew because you were in there from 2001 to 2019, and Minnesota started with about 4 people, and now this grew to 26 ranking members, not including the sisters, the kids, and the citizens, which are the men without rank.
Yeah, we didn't have no elect ladies in Minnesota. We didn't get to that point.
Gotcha. On November 1st, 2016, you were in there, weren't you?
Yeah, of course.
Now, you already heard maybe through that 3-hour Blog Talk radio show that Tazadakia held that he was under investigation. So that was already known. I guess it was probably going around. But did you expect that to happen on November 1st? A raid of the church? I don't think that was the environment that Tazadakia was painting. I remember him saying that this is not the time where we're going to go through persecution and anything like that. And then this goes and happens on November 1st. What were you thinking at that time? Did you even expect that?
Kind of, because he kind of was preparing us to say they was going to come at us. I mean, for years, if you really was listening, he was saying they were going to come at us with aggression and all that. So he always painted the narrative. He just never got specific because he already put that out there on one DVD. I forget, this was a minute ago. He said they send in the spies and infiltrators, and once we get rid of all the black devils, the red devils going to come in and do it themselves. So he would make little hints to stuff like that. So a full-blown raid, I didn't expect it that day, but I did expect them to eventually come at us.
Yeah. I'm going to play the video.
But the whole thing was they weren't coming at us. They were coming at him. That was the false narrative that was painted, though.
Right. He was trying to make it seem like this is a persecution. We got to go through this persecution. It's part of the whole plan. And it's like, no, mother effer, they're coming at you.
Thank you.
This is him right here.
This video where he looks scared as hell in this video. This one. Yeah. If people can't recognize fear in someone's eyes, and if you can't see it in this one, I don't know what's wrong with you.
Right. I'm gonna blow this up. Yeah, I don't have a good quality of this because it looks like they took it down from the company.
Why haven't the FBI done their job? Shalom to the congregation of Israel. Pardon for the quality of the video. I have to film this on a cell phone because, as you can see, the church has been raided by the FBI. And persecution has begun. Why haven't the FBI done their job? This is a fight like David fought Goliath. Okay, this is what it's supposed to be. Don't be alarmed. Why haven't the FBI done their job? Don't be afraid. Steady as she goes. The Lord has me in this position for a reason, and I accept everything that comes with this position. I just want to let the congregation of Israel know that I'm okay. It's business as usual, and steady as she goes. For everybody else that want to stand on the side,
steady as she goes is scripture now.
Right. I love seeing that.
That's scripture. You see that's in the thing that the sister had sent me as she's asking me to come back to Minnesota. She has in there steady as she goes still.
That's right. That's right. Wow.
I told you that's scripture now.
That's crazy, man. That's like a really good song, actually, that I like.
Yeah, they had shirts of that. They had shirts of that made with a little captain's wheel at the last Passover I was at and everything. Steady as she goes became a shirt and everything.
That's crazy.
All merchandise.
I got to make a video called Steady as She Goes about these cats.
Yep, the ship has sunken.
Destruction of the nation of Israel. That's because you don't believe in the scriptures. That's because you don't believe in the word of God like we do. This church will never be destroyed. And like the Lord our God stated, upon this rock I shall build my church. You watch and see how the Lord deal with this. I want all you brothers and sisters to hold your head up high, because we are doing nothing wrong and we're being persecuted for righteousness. And the Lord our God will fight for us. Shalom to the congregation of Israel, and walk with your head held up high, because this is what's supposed to happen, exactly the way that it is written.
He was on point when he said this was supposed to happen until he said as it was written. It was supposed to happen, nigga, because he was juking the IRS for his tax money. So yes, it was supposed to happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just look at that right there and I'm like, dang, because I was still really on the Kool-Aid when that came out. I'm like, yeah, these demons ain't trying to bring it and all that. I was a frontliner. So I'm just like, look, all right, it's that time now. So I was 2016, I was still on the juice pretty heavy. I'm not even gonna say I seen things wrong, but I'm not gonna act like I was not dang drinking a double shot of the Kool-Aid at that time.
I heard that dog. I heard that the bomb sniffing dogs went all up in there and they pissed all over the church. I don't know how true that is. Did you hear about that?
Yeah, that's what was said, that the dogs came over and pissed and defecated up in the church.
Okay, that's what was probably said by Tazadaki or the apostles.
Of course.
Yeah, at that time he didn't get arrested, but eventually he got arrested and then he asked for a whole bunch of money and stuff.
I got a question on that. You might have an answer to this. Do you know how true it is that all those different agencies actually went up in there? Because that was the big part they wanted to use as propaganda. To say, you know, if this is just a church raid and it was just about tax money, why was the DEA and the ATF and these other organizations that normally go after drugs and guns? Why were they involved? So that was a big part of what they used to say that Quatazap Allah was an informant and trying to set them up and plant stuff. You know how true that was, that all those agencies actually had boots on the ground and went into the church?
No, I don't know. I know I saw pictures of the IRS and the FBI,
which would make sense for those two agencies.
Yeah, I don't know, but I could imagine that they would have bomb sniffing dogs because this is a church that is labeled a hate group. Right. So I think that they'll want to do that before they go into an organization like this, before they go inside and start snooping around, just in case.
I'm just saying, you can't put it past him because Todd said it. So you can't put it past him. That might have been a damn lie when it comes to the dogs and these other groups or other agencies that was involved. So I'm just thought about you might have to proof check that one.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I've ever seen any of the dogs in the video in the background or anything like that. But now, like I said, I could see that. Plus, that place has a history of going up in flames too. So,
exactly,
I don't know.
Right.
But yeah, now there was a request after that in 2018, I believe. Where did you send me paperwork on that?
Yeah, I just sent you some. Look up pledges from sisters.
You just sent it right now?
I sent that probably about an hour ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 2018. That was after the feds came back and it was really on, where they said, listen, this Negro is about to go to jail. That was an eerie time up in there. I still had my rank during that time in there as a chief priest, late 2018. And it was a crazy feeling because, like I said, I can understand having to defend your leader's doctrine that we believe in and teach. I can understand that. You're not supposed to have to defend your leadership's personal actions in faults and flaws and all that when it comes to being a part of a church. And that's what them people don't realize. Like, you're taking up you were taking up Tazadakia's personal battle, and you tried to make it about doctrine, and it had nothing to do with doctrine. That was his own personal stuff that he had everyone involved in. But right. Yeah, right after they came and indicted him in Tzapuan, shortly after, all the ranks got hit up and were told you had to come up with $1,000 mandatory for legal assistance to help the Godsend Comforter in Tzapuan in legal fees. $1,000, drop of a dime, no questions asked. The first, I already knew what it was going to be. So as soon as Amati Makapash, y'all know Amati Makapash, that's the main damn treasure. Right. As soon as he asked me, well, Chief Priest Bar War, you'll be able to come up with your $1,000 by this weekend concert without question, because you already know what's going to come without it. And I know damn well I ain't got no $1,000 to give to this greasy Negro, which I didn't. I actually don't think I gave a dime towards the legal assist, because at that point, it's like, what is going on right now? This is not normal. Next brother come on, and that's ex-Chief Priest Mathwan. I know that brother lost his rank a minute ago up in there. But he came on, and Master Makapash asked him the same question. This brother, as soon as he got to swallowing and stuttering about how he ain't gonna be able to come up with it, he got railed on, cussed out, and all that. Where at the point where I'm like, brother, are you gonna take this brother screaming so loud at you? I'm looking at him like, brother, you're not gonna take the phone off your ear? Like, that gotta hurt as much as loud as this dude is screaming in your ear right now. And he's just calling, sir. And I was like, well, I already see what's going to go on if you don't come up with this money, or you say you can't come up with the money. Because at the end of the day, it was all about, what's that word I want to say? Overly compelling people to come up with their funds. I don't know about the days where brothers say in New York, they used to lock the doors until brothers came up with a certain quota and all that type stuff. We really wasn't doing all that type stuff. It was generally, you just compelled a person to come up with what they could. But a lot of times you never got the max amount of somebody because people just didn't have it. But yeah, they shook down all the ranks. We didn't know that the Negro had already bailed out, put up property and all that for his legal defense, that he was just trying to recoup some money back. We didn't know that at the time, of course. So you had a few men signed up and committed to come up with this money. And a few brothers did. And then it trickled over to the women, where he started even taking money from the women. But what was one thing that was told, and I'm sure that this has not been done yet. I can almost guarantee it has not been done yet. Mm-hmm. He said that everyone that put up $1,000 would get paid back that $1,000 once the court case and legal battles was over. I would like to ask any member of the ICGJC that put up their money, have you been paid back your $1,000 that you put up for their legal defense? Because they got back the money once the court case and all that was over, right?
Right.
The money that the feds took, they got that stuff back. So where is the people's money that put up money? They should be getting their kickback back.
Yeah.
Or you take it out their tights or their national debt.
Right. Yeah, there was already that's what was crazy, because I remember saying, is this cat planning to run with this money or something? Because they already put up a house. So what did he need that money for?
That's what some people was speculating. They thought this dude was ready to go on the run.
Right.
And to be honest, I say this, and I still stand on this, and I believe that, is I think overall that's the stress that really took this dude out with the whole COVID thing. I think this case whooped his ass so bad mentally. It just broke him down. And when this virus got a hold of him, he just couldn't handle it. It just, because it, like I said, it attacks any underlying condition. Stress is a mug up on the body. If you would have seen how much weight Ty started losing from really, I want to say like 2016 to 2018, it's like he just knew there was something on the horizon with him. And a lot of people say that he's losing weight, but it don't look like he's losing weight in a healthy way.
Yeah. Yeah, like Al Roker or something.
Yeah, just pure stress shedding off them pounds.
Right. It didn't look right. I know what you mean. Yeah, definitely. I mean, look at what he has to go through because of his own actions, of course. You have to face this was a federal case pretty much. That's why he got Gerald left court. He knew that he knew, and I think he was fearing the worst. I mean, 18 months in prison, he got sentenced. That's embarrassing, man.
But why did you go and get the devil to represent you? That's what I still couldn't understand that. I think you asked that on the last live. Why did you go and get the chief synagogue of Satan to go and represent you, though? I mean, you're trying to tell me there was no high profile black lawyer, Puerto Rican lawyer, native, well, not native. I haven't seen too many native lawyers, no racist shot or that, but you're trying to tell me there's none of these other 12 tribes that's in law that you could have went and hired and said, I got a serious bag and I'd rather put it in your pocket versus the devil's?
Right.
I mean, what are you really saying? Aren't we the best of the best? Isn't it? That's a DVD, right? The best of the best and the good for nothings. So shouldn't he have went and got the best of the best, which is the Israel, and hired one of us to represent him over the devil? Right. And the devil still got you a year or got you 18 months in jail and still made you have to plead guilty. So, I mean, really.
Right. This guy was, I mean, this whole scheme. I mean, if he's the comforter, he couldn't represent himself.
That's what I would have thought.
That's another thing.
I mean, he was coming in there with scriptures, on the garment and all that. Damn, blaming the sewing department for putting the wrong scripture on his garment when the prosecutor confronted him about it and all that. I was like, this is not the ties that I know. As I'm reading these manuscripts, this is not the ties that I came up. Where's the damn fire-breathing dragon that we was used to? This dude up in there talking about please, and I was poorly educated, and my sewing department put the wrong scripture on and all that.
Right.
This is embarrassing. That's why you've seen the congregation wouldn't dare read those manuscripts, because it would just be too humiliating.
Yeah, no, he got too comfortable. I mean, when you read the personal expenditure scheme in the whole report, the case against Jermaine Grant and Lincoln Warrington, this guy was obtaining high-end luxury items, women's handbags, women's luxury clothes, women's shoes, electronic products, home furnishings. It says purchase and lease real estate in Windermere. He had that. He had luxury vehicles. He had a Mercedes Sprinter van.
Well, some people don't even want to talk and get into the nitty gritty. I bet a lot of that stuff that you looked at, what they said he bought and all that, some of that stuff probably wasn't even for him. A lot of that stuff was probably gifts for his little dang, his little side pieces and all that type stuff, furnishing out their houses and all that type stuff. So, a lot of that stuff was going on.
Right. Wow.
I mean, you just saw total mismanagement of funds all the way across the board. As a treasurer, there was several times where I was told, when there would be like big mega million lottery tickets and all that, there were several times that I was told, and other treasurers can attest to this too, that we were told to go and take certain tights money and go and get lottery tickets to try and hit the mega jackpot on Mega Millions. How come the God sent comforter could not prophesy and predict the right ticket for us to get and say, no, Minnesota, there's no winning ticket up there. God ain't showing you nothing, but you're going into all these other prophecies. Hell, you didn't see the prophecy of Bitcoin and damn telling congregation, what, invest in some Bitcoin right now in 2013. By 2018, we'll all be straight. We'd have no problem building the nation had this fool invest in some Bitcoin and Ethereum. It's just showing you this dude was not guided by a damn thing. We spending money on lottery tickets, scratch-offs, and all types of stuff. The mismanagement of funds and oppression that people was going through. I mean, it reminded me. I'm like, you literally had men so down and out broken there. They're literally giving plasma and blood donations to pay for vows. Like you're a cheap priest and you're strapped in a chair next to a crackhead, not witnessing to him about nothing about the church. You trying to get your $60 up for your damn picnic vow. He trying to get his 60 for a hit, and you ain't telling him nothing about no church. You sitting there actually looking at him in disgust. Like, I was strapped up next to this crackhead, but I had to get my money for this peace vow, sir. Madness. And people are not seeing, where did you ever have the men of God had to resort to those type measures to dang support the house of God?
Right.
I mean, you have to ask yourself, what are you in at this point?
And he created this fake company, right? And this was what was going on behind the scenes, because we didn't know a bunch of this stuff until later. We saw Lamborghini, we saw him just spending money. I mean, just take a look at some of the clothes he was wearing. He would at any given time have like $5,000 on his body, at any given time. But what we didn't see was what was going on here behind the scenes, like where this cat is writing checks from the ICGJC into his Black Icon Entertainment business of $2,200, $30,000 withdrawn and deposited in the bank account for the BIE, Black Icon Entertainment. Which I wonder what happened to that now. Are they going under a new name now? It ain't Black Icon Entertainment.
I ain't really followed that Excalibur stuff. After like I said,
but that's that's the management company. There's something else now. I think
like I said, that whole Byzantine shift, I'm not gonna lie. After because I Byzantine, like I told you, I'm Midwest. It took a while for that East Coast stuff to grow on us up here, to be honest. Yeah. But Byzantine, when it finally did start growing on us, then they started kicking brothers out of Byzantine. Once they threw out what's the brother from was he from Philly? The RAW. I liked it the Raw. That was my guy. I liked it, his delivery. Ivan and El Cid, it was a wrap for the Byzantine after that. Saint Basil is good, and he got good stage energy, and he's a good lyricist. He's nice on the mic, but it wasn't the same after they got rid of them three. After Ive, the Raw, and El Cid was out, I stopped messing with Byzantine Kings after that. I'll be honest. They lost my damn membership to Byzantine fan club after that. It just went downhill. And Tazadaki's seen that. Let me back on my brother Dawiyad, since we mentioned him.
Yeah.
Archangel Awards 2018. The entire Minneapolis roster, and I hope one of them see this too, because they know this story to be all facts. The entire Minneapolis roster got hated on because they came with such more professionalism, a better sound than his precious Byzantine Kings after he disbanded the group. So he ended up this is what ended up happening. During the Archangel Award, he started having it where they would put up an Archangel Awards website. You got to go and listen to all the new artists and tracks, and you voted on the artist that you liked most. So you would vote up and bump up their listens and plays on the website, and that's how they would pick who was going to perform at the Archangel Awards that year. So Minnesota had a group that was named after a title I came up with, because they also had the NBL. You weren't in there when he came up with the National Basketball League, the most non-talented basketball league of man. You would be better off. I'm not gonna knock the brothers. I'm gonna leave them alone on that one. All I know is that was a pitiful damn basketball league that he put together called the NBL or NBL, National Basketball League. Like we are really the National Basketball League. But anyhow, back to what I was talking about with the Archangel Awards. So I was just on my point. I just thought about that horrible NBL thing that he put together. But with the Archangel Awards, he had that where you voted on the songs that was the most popular and what you like. Minnesota had a group called the Blizzard Gang, is what they called themselves. That's where it came from. Because the NBL, we were going to have our own basketball team up here. And we were going to call it either the Avalanche or the Minnesota Blizzard, which was two names I picked. So the brothers came up with a rap group and they called it Blizzard Gang, is what they called it. And they tried to critique the brothers on that even. Like, well, gang, bro, that just sounds like such a negative thing. I said, brother, change it to an acronym. Call it Godliness Against Niggas and Goons or something like that. So the brothers went with that acronym and they said, no, we're going to call ourselves Blizzard Gang. They came and presented their stuff for the Archangel Awards website and they killed it. Every track they had, people was loving it, and they bumped their stuff up to the top. And we also had another brother, shout out to Yakanai Kad too. That was another artist that used to perform in Minnesota. And he had a couple tracks on there that was killing it. They was passing up Byzantine. They even had tracks that would rival Taz's. Tazadaka, you know, when Tazadaka drops a track, everyone acts like it's just a masterpiece and all that, and everyone votes for it. So these brothers was at the top of the list. They had killed it, and they thinking they getting ready to get picked for something at the Archangel Awards. Don't you know when it's time for Best New Art? Actually, no, to embarrass the brothers, they came up with a cheaters category this year. So, you know, normally they got best new artist, best R&B, best rap, best reggae and all that. This year they came up with best cheater so they could embarrass these brothers. And what they did was it was a Nathaniel Allah. They had him playing a little skit because, you know, at Archangel Wars, they play like little skits and stuff. They had this brother where he's like in a little dark room and he got like 5 laptops that's all playing the same song from the brothers. So Taz tried to put together a skit to insinuate that the only reason why these brothers got so many streams and likes because they cheated and had a bunch of different computers and phones all streaming their own songs and all that. And these brothers are there. I'm looking at their faces. They just got to take this because they know they didn't cheat. They know their music was dope and the people was liking it and that they didn't cheat. And they seen like, they're really lying on us, but we got to save face because we can't stand up and say, sir, I didn't cheat and all that. I'm going to be up in a special session. So that literally happened to the brothers. And Taz even rubbed it in when he got up on the mic. He said, yeah, you got these new groups out here acting like people really is looking for them. And he's like, I could see if people came on and they were looking for like the Byzantine kings or the Maccabees and all that. So you could just see how he was purposely hating on these brothers because they surpassed his group, which was the Byzantine kings, which was no longer the Byzantine kings. They got rid of all the sharpshooters from Byzantine.
Yeah.
So it's just showing you the narcissism on this dude. Nobody could be better than him on anything. You couldn't have a garment that was better. Hell, you couldn't even have stones in your garment. You couldn't have a garment that was better than his. Couldn't have damn near the same color garments as his. Nothing, because he always had to outshine everyone. He could not give, as what the world says, give everyone their flowers, you know, their credit.
Right.
And that's the difference you do see between the ICGJC, why they will fail at this whole Israelite thing. There's other groups out there that got better incentives than y'all to join. And they're preaching the same message. IUIC, you come up in there, like I said, sisters, you got husband security if he ain't abusive, because them brothers in there, I heard, be abusing their wives and stuff too. But hell, at least the Negro got to have a job in order to enter a courtship. That's a plus compared to the ICGJC. He can't have multiple wives. So, you know, there's what the ICGJC is trying to sell. That's just old news. Ain't nobody trying to hear that no more.
Mm-hmm. I was trying to find a place where this cat admits that the ICGJC was a cult when he came in there.
I agree with Ivan too. I hated that you could not rock the mic with that old soft monotone voice that Taz had. That dude had some of the worst damn songs and all that in the nation. That was just man, brother. We really the ICJC is a serious. Well, I'm not sure if your page is monetized. I keep my lingo PG.
No,
right
that's
now.
fine. That's
just
fine.
A serious mind screw is what we'll call it.
Yeah, no, that's fine. You could curse all you want on this joint.
Yeah, you gotta work on getting your page monetized, brother. Like I said, there's a million people doing nonsense.
Yeah, I'm trying to get my own website going. I don't know why YouTube has that as a stipulation for me being monetized. Now I have to get my own website. So
and I say that because we all have a story. Just like I tell people coming up out of that mug, the worst thing you can do is act like this didn't happen. That's why I was really going to come with a super concentrated lesson, but I was like, no, what, today you can just go into just some things that we remember that we can talk about. Yeah, they never forget. We ain't forgetting stuff either. This is not even really some of the main talking points we wanted to go into. This is really just kind of shooting the breeze tonight on some things. But I mean, when you really go back and look at what happened to you, you have to acknowledge what happened. You got people that ran out of that place and they try to act like they didn't just do 10, 12 years in a whole cult that got you looking at people a certain way still. You got people still out here calling white folks Edomites and all that. And they'll see a Chinese people, yeah, I just seen Moab over there. Like, brother, what type of mind delusion are you in? These people don't even call themselves by those names. There's no Chinese man running around looking at black people. Yeah, black man, you secretly are the Israelites. I secretly am Moab. I'm just not letting you know that. Like, that is the most, like I said, we got sucked into the dumbest damn doctrine on earth. God tells you don't go into genealogy. How is it that you're trying to tell someone their genealogy based on, yes, Chinese people have slanted eyes. That's the Mongoloid feature. That's in the children of Lot.
Right, which is stupid. They're basically saying that blacks, Hispanics, Native American, white people, Japanese, or all Asians, including Elam, they were all in the same area at some point in time in history, all from that in the same area. That's not how it was back then. America's like that today. That's not how it was back then, man. You couldn't go to Israel and see white people and then Asians and then black people, Hispanic, like that just sounds completely insane.
And then the Israelites was not racist. Even going into that doctrine, like I said, me and you, we have our different difference of opinion on, biblical doctrine and all that. Like I said, for brothers that want to know where I'm at, I'm just on the search tip. Like I said, I converse with a lot of brothers, check their temperature on what it is that they believe in and all that now. But the search it's just you have to do it. You have to go into the search upon these different things. But that whole doctrine that we just got taught, the Israelites was never indoctrinated with hatred. It was never about, this is another nation, this filthy Edomite. It was about, either the people were not keeping the laws of God and was enemy nations. And it was just that. But you can read in scriptures where you read about King David, a man after God's own heart. When he ended up passing, remember what it tells you about him and the king of Ammon. This is a whole nother nation. It tells you that King David and this king of Ammon were friends. Remember, Solomon had to send up some representatives to this king of Ammon. And it tells you that King David and this king was friends. So it's just showing you that hatred, racist indoctrination we had, that wasn't what it was about. That's not what made you an enemy of the nation of Israel just because you was another nation. If not, where did the law of the stranger come into effect? Where another nation could say, I want to ride with y'all, and they can come in and become a part of the nation of Israel. Oh, the law of the stranger was done away with. When? Where? There's no scripture that they can show you the people that still believe they're 100% Israelites and the other nations don't have a snowball chance in hell of making it. When was the law of the stranger ever done away with? No one will be able to show that to you. It just shows you that whole race hatred doctrine. Them is just Negroes that missed the civil rights movement and feel they got to join onto the cause late and all that. These soul brothers. We got sucked into a lot of that damn mentality with some of the older generation that came before us.
Right. Yeah.
Right. Like I said, we should have caught on just with that in the doctrine. What I even just put out. I mean, you had the 37 mighty men was all different types of nations.
Yeah.
And one that David was judged for going against.
I think it was a lot of that was personal hatred that these men that were up at the top had.
You hit the nail on the head. You got to remember, Shar, Arya, and all them brothers, they come from where? All them brothers is from the South. So they got that vendetta against white people just from the area they come from. Them is deep Southern.
And they older. They come from the 60s.
And they come from that generation of there. They seen a lot of, they caught the, seen a lot of the grunt of the oppression and all that stuff. So a lot of that hatred was up in them and resentment, and it twisted them as they went into the Bible.
Yeah, they were probably young men during the civil rights era, you know, so this is kind of like a civil rights era 2.0 for them. And they're using a lot of this old stuff that it's like, these people ain't out here. Asians don't give a damn about what's going on. They ain't out here trying to kill black people and stuff. Like, there was a story where a brother, Yasser Allah, I believe his name was, he beat up an Asian. Yeah, did it make front page? Wow,
it made the newspaper in New York City. That brother was in every sister in the nation's DMs too on Facebook on the low. Like every courtship violation you could think of, that brother done did it too. The Yasser Alibi.
Yeah.
Snapping and damn Chun-Li and the damn Chinese woman on the damn subway.
Well, yeah, that was the second time. That was an actual Indian woman.
Why is it that it seemed like the mentally challenged brothers are the ones assaulting all these Asians? I don't know what that is.
It happens a lot.
But it's a lot of mentally disabled or mentally challenged brothers that be doing this. If you look at this stuff.
That's true.
I don't know. They might, I don't know. There might be some disorder. They see that and it makes them snap. But go ahead. I'm just reading a couple of these comments as we continue. Yeah. I do want to get into my departure before we leave, before we come up off this. We already went over the time we said as always. But I'm going to go into my departure out of this place because it's just so ironic with what I'm hearing going on up in there now. So I had to get into my departure of how I allegedly ran off with over 3 bands of ICGJC dollars. I have to get into that now. So we're moving on up. You have this whole, the raid is taking place. The indictment has went down. The church is at an all-time pressure right now. So all eyes is on the church. The church is now being examined. As my brother said, the order is getting tighter than damn stockings, is what we are told when things is getting ready to go. So, what is this? 2018. We're at 2018 now. 2018, yeah. Hanukkah time is where we're at. This is where I really started really just seeing what's going on and just seeing like, this is not the way the church is supposed to be running. We're not making progress anymore. We're not making any type of all the operations that we said we were supposed to be doing. None of this stuff is going on. I mean, we're supposed to be having information centers set up where he said that where there would literally be areas that where the churches could not get to, there would be information centers and stuff set up where people could go in and just inquire, inquire about the church, what we teach and all that. Of course, none of that stuff is going on. We're not seeing none of this stuff set up. There's supposed to be like a church Amtrak set up pretty much where it's just minivans and sprinters just going all across country, picking people up, bringing them to and fro to council and all that. We're not seeing none of this stuff go on. We're seeing the churches it's missing basic resources. The high holy days is starting to get dang skimpier and skimpier is what's going on. So I'm seeing all this stuff go on, and I'm seeing like, you know what? There is some type of mismanagement of funds that's going on right now. There's something that's not right here. So as we're continuing on, like I said, trying to hold face and all this stuff, you got a brother that actually gets in trouble. There's an examination of the church that's going on right now, I guess. And what it stemmed of, I wish I had the brother's paperwork. I don't think I sent it to you, Miguel. I should put this knucklehead on blast, but I'm gonna wait for another time. But you got a brother gets in trouble for the dumbest reason. This fool gets in trouble for offering karate lessons to the congregation, and in there you could get in trouble for the dumbest thing. He gets in trouble for offering karate lesson to a few sisters and all that. I wish I had his council paper in front of me. I'd pull it up. But so he goes up to council. And instead of facing the music for what he has been doing, he now takes the time to fill out a council paper. Like I told you before, what people do when they get summons to council, they pull what's called the counter council. Now they need counsel for every last other thing aside from what they're already being summoned to council for. So this nigga, it gets summoned to council for offering karate lessons. And I guess his only way out is to divert some attention off of him. He wants to try and throw me under the bus. I found this out a little bit later, and I had put the 2 and 2 together. So he's getting in trouble for something. But in his council paper, he puts, I also have some other personal issues in my spirit I want to discuss. His personal issues was actually about me because I was the treasury at the time. What it was this Negro Karabiamoff. I'm going to put his black ass out there on blast now. This Negro was not paying his tights like he was supposed to. So I'm trying to help this brother out, and I'm save him a couple trips up to New York and being thrown out because he ain't paying his tights. This brother is a full-time truck driver. Now, everyone knows that people that drive 18-wheelers. This brother is full-time truck driver, 40 hours plus a week. This brother's paying $50 tights, $50 Passover tights. I'm not even shaking him down on that as he's trying to insult my intelligence, because there's no way you're a truck driver and you're only making $500 a week. That's not possible. Not pulling no 40-hour shift and driving all the miles. It's impossible. So I wasn't even getting on him about what he was paying, but I can show everyone his tights and just put him on blast too. Because he's probably still paying $50 tights, $50 Passover tights to this day, which is really probably only 10% of his overall check. Because you had a lot of people that couldn't afford the full 20%. So they would split up the 10% into 2 different tights. But anyway, he was doing that. I wasn't even shaking him down up on that. I was really just trying to avoid the brother, because me and the brother was cool. So I was trying to avoid him going up to New York City. And what I told the brother, because his excuse always was, his excuse always was, I don't have a money order or a check, because they eventually changed the order in late 2016 or 2017, that they wanted all tights and different church funds, except for the priest fund, they wanted to be paid in check or money order. And it's ironic that came out right around 2016, that now they want everything in check or money order. Now, all of a sudden, the only cash that you could come in was the priest fund. Or actually, the dollar drive was long gone by then. They canceled the dollar drive. It was just priest fund at this time. So, but then we were also told, if they come with cash, though, don't turn it away. You take the cash and you just turn it into a money order. So this nigga, me trying to save face with him, I tell him, brother, just if you got cash, then just give me the cash and I'll turn it into a money order. Because at my bank, I get free cashier's checks and money orders due to the amount that comes into my account every month. When you make a certain amount, you get free cashier's checks and all that. Which is going to get to more of my story later in a second. So he does this a couple times to save face and all that. The last time I have him do it, he's a little bit hesitant, but he does it anyway. I always show this Negro the check, the amount, and all that of what he paid. So the last time he comes in the office, he comes in asking for something that he shouldn't be doing. He wanted the check that I had put in his name, that I had got his funds for. He wanted the check stub because he was doing tax write-offs for his taxes at the end of the year, which he wasn't supposed to do. But he came straight out and told me, yeah, I keep my stubs because I have my taxes amended at the end of the year. I wasn't tripping off that, even though I know according to church order, you're really not supposed to do that. Have your church tights filed. But I still wasn't tripping off the brother. So I show him the money order that I got from my bank. And because I got it from my bank, of course, it's the money order on all that's in my name, but he still got his tights and all that credited to him. He signed off for it and all that. So he looks at the the money order, and he just has this strange hesitation about himself. And he just says, well, I can't use this, and leaves out the office and all that. So once again, he gets in trouble a few months later for offering the congregation karate lessons. At that time, I guess that's when he goes up and he tells the apostles that Gabar War is still collecting cash from the church and all that. I guess should he be doing? He tried to pose it like he was ignorant and we just wanted to pose a question, but really all he was doing was diverting the attention off of himself for himself being in trouble and putting it on me. And from there, I get a call a few weeks later. I get told there's an investigation going on and all that. I'm removed. They hold a conference call meeting without me even on the phone. They have the whole congregation come on a conference call without me even on the phone. And they're going through all these details and asking the congregation if I know what's going on. Have you ever known Gabar War to be a thief or steal and all that? And of course, all they're getting is la sir. That's all they're getting. So they're like, all right, this dude does got the love of the congregation. We got to come at him another way. And that's exactly what they did. From there, my rank was still suspended for something else that we can get into another time. I'll get into that when we go into council portion on another one. So my rank is still suspended. So I'm going back up for, it's really a double jammy, because I'm going supposedly to get my rank reinstated, but I got this pending investigation from this Negro that done went up a couple months and tried to throw me under the bus and slander me in front of the leadership. So as I'm going up and dealing with my counsel there, that's when they bring in the suspected theft of tights and all this stuff is what they start bringing up. The suspected theft of tights. So Rakai Kazak, he's going through this, him and Amati Makapa. Well, actually, before I went up to council, I was they were calling me like weekly and asking me all types of treasury questions, having me send up my bank statements and all that. Like I said, I still on the juice a little bit, because other than that, I would have told y'all damn kiss ass if y'all expect me to send my bank statements and all that to y'all. But I sent them my bank statements because I felt, look, I ain't got nothing to hide right now. One thing they was looking at is a lot of cash and check deposits that was coming into my account every month. And the reason why those check and cash deposits were coming in my account every month, because my ex-wife and my stepdaughter worked as my PCAs. They used my bank account to cash their checks and all that and deposit checks into my bank account. So it looked like I'm receiving an exponential amount of funds that the church wonders where's that coming from. Because by this time, my wife and stepdaughter, they're not in the church no more. They're like, we ain't in the church. We ain't paying tithes either. So they're looking at it as I'm taking cash from the congregation and putting it in my bank account. Brother, I'm being accused of, they looking at my bank statements and seeing me at Fogo de Chão. Anyone that know what Fogo de Chão is, it's like a Brazilian steakhouse. That's one of my regular joints I hit up. So I got Rakai Kazak, fine dining at Fogo de Chão, and lift rides that cost $40. So he think they got the smoking gun as they're trying to go through all my tights and my financial records. And I'm like, all this is coming from my wife and stepdaughter who make well over about $800 together that's coming into my account weekly. Finances has never been a problem for anyone that knows me due to my situation. So that's not no arrogance or anything. It's just some things have been set in stone where I'm financially set pretty much overall. So that's not a problem, because you had people saying, well, he didn't have to steal and all that. It's not about if I had to steal. No one that steals has to steal. It's about, did I steal? And the answer on that was no. It's the money that was coming in was finances that was coming from my family. They didn't have to tithe on because they weren't a part of the church. So they looked at that and tried to lump all that up. And this brother's going out to eat with the congregation's dollar and all types of stuff. And I'm like, I ain't got no federal indictment investigation on my ass right now while y'all sitting there calling the kettle, the pot's calling the kettle black. This amazed me right here, where I was like, these niggas really got their nerve. But I'll play along. Let's go up to council now. I get ordered up to council. I still stand with the same story, same proof, all that. Shar believes me. Shar says, know what? The only thing I see that you are wrong in doing is you are taking the finances home before sending it up to the church. Because I would take the finances, the check and all that home that Sunday night, and I would send it up to New York that Monday morning. Up to anywhere between $3,000 to $5,000 any given week was going up to New York City from Minnesota alone. Now, of a congregation about 120 people. So do the math with some of these larger congregations that's out there and what they were sending up. So I'm seeing all this. Like, I'm sending up thousands of dollars. How are we getting eviction notices still? How is it that I still have to take my own personal money and add to so the congregation can eat good on high holy days? How is it that I'm having to come and buy heaters, air conditioners, and all that stuff for the church? The church was painted out of the pockets of the brothers. Now, this all the stuff they was throwing out there, as Shar is listening to this, he's like, you know what? Yeah, the only place I see where you were wrong at is taking the business home. So he's like, because of that, I'm not going to reinstate your rank to a 42 chief priest. I'm going to reinstate your rank to a captain of 13,000. This was the awakening point for me right now, because this was church doctrine. Tazadaki had recently taught a class where he said that during every council in the church, he taught this on the DVD. I got this too for sale, too, for any ICGJC members. I keep on telling you, this stuff is for sale. They Shall Know I Am the Lord is the DVD. It's a little 4 DVD set. So he taught this during that class, that one of the 24 elders that you read about in Revelations sits in every council to make sure the council goes accordingly, that make sure it goes the way God would want it if, like, he is not in the council. So that's why he said, like, regardless of how the council went, it's still the way God wanted it to go, because the elder is in the council controlling the council. So when I hear, okay, I believe you, and you did mess up by taking business home, that was out of order, but I don't believe you were stealing. You have the rank of, because if you thought someone was stealing from the church, you don't give them the rank of a captain of 13,000. Wasn't that your rank before you
Yeah,
and by that rank, you're responsible for a lot of stuff, aren't you?
oh yeah.
So you don't give someone the rank of a captain of 13,000 that's stealing from the church. Shar gave me the rank of captain of 13,000. You seen Rakai Kazak, and I think it was the other boring brother that be teaching. It's another boring apostle. Mawar. It was Rakai Kazak and Mawar came out. They come chasing me and the other chief priests out of the building. Hold on. I know the holy apostle said you have the rank of a captain of 13,000, but hold off on that right now. You're still going to wait for, further, clarification, whatever it was. I wasn't tripping. I was just cool to be up out of there and on my way back home. So I get a call. So everything is just going as normal for a few months. I think the holy rank review comes up. That's where we get promised the 38 new chambers of death that's going to be opened all throughout America. There'll be one in Puerto Rico, Brazil, damn Texas, damn Juarez, Mexico, damn wherever you can think of. There will be an ICGJC near you soon, is what we are promised. None of that goes down. You hear the brother, it's damn Trinidad and all these different places. And it's just like, at this point, you already know ain't none of this stuff going down. That's another failed prophecy. 2019, there was no new chambers of death open. They gave you Negroes new garments and new wallpaper in your old buildings is all they gave you. But they didn't open no new churches. So going back, the council and all that goes down. I get my rank of captain of 13,000, but it's suspended until further notice. So I'm just in the church with no rank at this time. And you know how it is when you're in the church with no ranks. And when you are at a high position, you know you can't wait for a top damn officer of 10 dumb Osbon to come and start giving you orders and all that. It just, that's what's coming. But the good part with that was I didn't have no duty. So these brothers hated that they couldn't really give me orders because I didn't have no duties. I was just a normal citizen. So, when brothers want to get all their revenge, correction, and all that stuff out, they really couldn't do it. The only thing they can do is, brother, sit over there, that type stuff. Not no, all right, brother, you're not reading loud enough. Brother, why are you late to camp? They couldn't do none of that. So they hated it. Saturday, I'm out. Like I said, it's 3:00. I'm out. I'm on my way back home. They sitting there in some dumbass meeting, discussing frivolous nonsense. So things was actually, and that's what I really started to kind of see when I didn't have no rank. I couldn't teach. I just had to sit and listen to the doctrine from another brother's perspective. And you just seen this is total madness and BS right now. Half the brothers can't read. They can't teach. I mean, it's just, you just start seeing the shit show for what it was. Like, these brothers is not on no level. The brothers are going out getting beat up by Christian churches, out doing unit work now, and you just seen the downfall of the church. So I'm seeing all this, and the straw that kind of broke the camel's back was when Brother Wilney, Cashapp from Florida, gave his testimony. And I seen him go live, and I'm looking at his live. And when he breaks down how Tazadakia doesn't even have a passport and how he had Batazai Allah doing some digging, and I know these brothers, I'm looking at their eyes. Just like I said, you can see the fear in Taz's eyes. You can also see when a brother is speaking truth. So I'm looking at this brother. I'm like, this dude is sincere, man. You can see what he's talking is not just some BS. He didn't just get weak and then became an antichrist. He literally seen a revelation that he couldn't deny. Like, if this dude did not go to Israel, and if he has no passport, it's impossible for him to went to Israel, impossible for him to have the Holy Spirit, which makes it impossible for him to be the comforter. I have to let 1 + 1 be 2. I can't keep on making it 1 + 1 is 1. And that's what they're doing in there. They are in denial of basic common sense that you just can't deny no more. So when that brother gave that testimony, I just seen like he was sincere. I was like, whatever they got to do, they just gonna do it. But my mind is not there no more. I just see there's got to be some proven tale at this time. If I'm wrong, I'll repent. But at this time, I'm starting to smell the shit show for what it is. So final straw comes up. I get a call from Yasser Allah. Y'all might remember Yasser Allah, the most damn timid. Well, I'm gonna leave some of these brothers alone. Some of these damn brothers, now that you really, really see their character, I really see that. Like, man, you was forced to have to work with some of these brothers. There was brothers from y'all East Coast branches I did not personally care too much for. Damn, he was a cool brother when he wanted to be at Shamshuan. That was another impossible brother to deal with sometimes, especially during Passover arrangements. But anyway, I get a call or a text from Yasser Allah, Apostle Yasser Allah. I'm like, y'all change apostles like French fry workers at McDonald's. Like, you was just a chief priest like 3 weeks ago. Now you're an apostle. Okay. So I get a text from him. You're ordered to the special session in New York City or in Philadelphia by this Sunday. It's Tuesday. I'm like, I'm looking at my credit card. And I'm like, I could get a plane ticket, but why? Why am I going to go there for this railroad special session that I'm at to go into? They're going to try to make me plead guilty on funds that they are put in my account from my family. They're going to try and railroad this whole thing. And then I can't even put this Negro on blast that really tried to set me up because he's trying to get out of paying tights. Now, the funny thing was, if the Treasury Department would have really been digging the way they should have, and they would have, that's the other thing that just let me know, like, all right, this shit is fake, and these brothers ain't rolling with no spirit. Because if they really would have been digging the way they would have been able to pick apart and say, no, Gabar War, we see you haven't been paying tights for about 3 or 4 months. They were so blinded by trying to say I was stealing, they didn't even see, like, this brother really has not been paying tights, because I was just seeing, like, man, the money's not going where it's supposed to go. How is it that every high holy day, myself as a chief priest, I have to come out of pocket for a high holy day? them brothers are sitting in there talking on the microphones that these, them expensive Shure microphones. I think there was like $600 for the microphones. I bought them microphones with a little bit of assistance from brothers from time to time, but it's like, how do you accuse someone of stealing money? If I was stealing money, that means I took the money and I put it right back into the church. Then is what y'all would have to say then. Every money dollar he took it and put it right back in the church and had to add some on top of that, which I did do when it came to High Holy Days. There's no point in even fronting on that. When it came to High Holy Days, if a congregation member came with the $60 at like the last minute and they came with cash, I would take that and I would use it towards actual drinks, food, and all that to go towards the High Holy Day. And I would still credit the congregation member their money that they put up for the High Holy Day. Like when I heard that y'all paid $60 one day for a High Holy Day and was served Franken beans in Orlando, I would have snapped. I said that all day. Like if I would have paid $60 and someone came to me with a hot bowl of Franken beans, telling them some Shabbat Shalom, I would have snapped. I probably would have got totally out of character. But to hear that was going on, New York City, they getting served like a bowl of ice cream for dessert and all that. I'm like, this is headquarters. In Minnesota, that's one thing they can take. I see my sister is on here. They can take they can vouch for that. In Minnesota, they was eating sirloin steak, lamb chops, beef ribs, grilled asparagus, good stuff where you at least felt like, damn, I at least kind of got some of my money's worth for this $60. Not like Omaha, Nebraska, this brother would charge them $60 and then go to KFC every High Holy Day. Every High Holy Day, they had Kentucky Fried Chicken for every holy day that they paid $60 for. And this brother would be looking at me with a straight face like he was doing something. Yep, we done got our money for the High Holy Day and sent the bishop straight to KFC. And I'd be looking like, brother, that's what your congregation is content with. But back to my story. You see how we drift off. Just good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah. But back to my point of the final departure. So when I get this call a week from them having to go up to Philadelphia, and I'm like, man, I can't afford it, but I'm not gonna max out this card. Plane ticket was like $600 at that time. I could have did it, but it's like, for what? I'm just done. The brother done dropped this testimony. We're getting shook down. This nigga ain't got no passport. And then the final insult is, if one of the 20, this what had me really thinking. If one of the 24 elders sits in these councils and the apostle, the holy apostle, found me not guilty of stealing funds, gave me the rank of captain of 13,000. According to Tazadakia, wasn't that the judgment of God for one of those 24 elders? So why am I being called now for double jeopardy? If I've already been found guilty by or not guilty by a holy apostle, now you're calling me back for double jeopardy for another session, which is a railroad session. I'm not going. I'm done. So from there, I didn't go to that general assembly, and they held the whole trial without me. The chief priest from there, he came back and told me everything that went down. Former chief priest Mapo, and I think they got him busted to like forever recruit up in there or something now probably. But he came back and gave me the whole spiel. Like, brother, I've never seen a special session like that. They held the whole special session without you. They literally acted like I was there. They had people getting up, asking nothing, because during the special session, you stand at a lectern in the middle of the General Assembly, and they get up one by one and ask you questions. Don't you know these deranged Negroes and women were getting up, asking questions to nothing? There was no person there to be asked questions. They're getting up like regular proceeding, asking the questions they had to nobody. I'm like, when I heard that, I was like, this is delusion 101. So he said, no, sir, I didn't even vote for you to be. He said, the judgment from the General Assembly is, sir, you've been excommunicated. He's stuttering and all that. I guess he thought I was going, oh no, I'm out of the truth and all that. I just told him, brother, this would be my advice to you. My advice to you is not to let these low-level ass officers that's under you take over the church like they did, because this brother was soft as damn baby, damn putty. So these brothers really just ran all over him after I ended up being excommunicated, because he was the only chief priest left, and they seen weakness in this brother. So they just ran all over him. He's not even in his position no more. All these other brothers is over him now. But I told him, like, don't let these brothers take over the church. Then he gave me some last minute prophecies that Taj dropped. He said, well, sir, I'm like, brother, I'm excommunicated. These prophecies ain't gonna do me no good. Now these work against me now. But I told him to give it to me anyway. So he said one of them is Trump is going to build the wall to trap all Israel in by the end of 2019. He knows, he told me this too. That's why, for the life of me, I can't believe how they're doubling back on this 2019 prophecy type stuff. But Trump was supposed to build the wall to keep all Israelites trapped in America. And if you don't make it out during this exodus, you're going to be trapped in America when all the hell breaks loose and all the craziness goes down. Well, we have another problem now in 2024. Trump looks like he's getting ready to be indicted. So what wall will Trump be building? And you can't tell me, well, no, Joe Biden is going to take up the prophecy now. No, brother, you got the wrong person, brother.
Right. That's a failed prophecy.
That's a failed prophecy. That's like saying, dang, Cyrus was supposed to let the children of Israel go back into Persia, and it ended up being Herod. Brother, it's still wrong prophecy, wrong information. You got something wrong. So, I mean, that's just showing you the delusion that these people are still in right now. He really was selling this to me like this was good news. And I just told him, brother, okay, that sounds good. And my last words, brother, because he was still a good brother. Brother, it's still nothing but love for you and all that. This kingdom is meant for us to make it to, brother. I'll see you up in that mug one day. That's literally where I left the conversation. I guess he thought I was going to be broken and all that. Just told him, brother, I'll see you when we get there. It was really my last words to him. But ever since then, brother, again, I don't even try and toot the horn, but it's like since Minnesota lost myself as a chief priest, and there was another solid brother. He's a chief priest again now. Riccardi, he's a total drone up in there, like a brainwashed drone right now. And I hope he wakes up out of it. He's a good, sincere brother, but brothers like that, once we lost our rank, you seen that new Jack spirit. That's why I said you'll have Officer Dumb Osbon will come in and just try and slip and assert himself into authority that he doesn't have, because you got a lot of those low-level officers up in there that that's really what it is right now. You can be in there and fulfill a delusion. If you're nothing in the world, nothing on a 9 to 5, you go in there and you're a bishop now all of a sudden. You're a chief priest. Your boss just cussed you out, but in there you get to come up and get a standing salute when you walk into a class. And brothers is letting their heads be filled with that stuff right now.
Yeah.
Like the sister said, that belief system, it destroys your logical way of thinking. All logic goes out the window. Like I said, when I realized no passport equals no trip to Israel equals no Holy Spirit came on you equals you cannot be the comforter.
Right.
What left do we have to talk about at that point?
Nothing.
Nothing. There's nothing else to say. As a matter of fact, put my passport up on the screen. Let me provide my passport.
Let's go.
Show y'all. Well, actually, I can't even say it. This ain't no real passport. But I just want to show y'all this. This is probably the only passport Tazadaki ever had. And he probably even get one of these made for himself.
Yeah.
But I just want to share one. This was also another comical story right here. That's the passport right there. Nation of Israel passport. Was that $100 for that passport? And you get the same picture every year. You can't even upgrade your picture. There's people that had the same passport for 3 years and get charged $100 every year. I look terrible in that picture too. I look like a dang convict in that picture. Like I'm really doing time right there.
They took that picture.
You see the barcode under me that doesn't work? They even tried to have a barcode system that was supposed to be scanned and all that to show your attendance, and the barcode damn didn't even work. But anyway, I went to that's the ironic thing. When I got summons to my council with where I had to go up for Shar and give account of myself for the funds, I somehow lost my regular state ID. So that was the only picture ID that I had. I had that, and I had to take a letter through the airport to try and prove who I was. Don't you know I damn near got detained with that fake ass airport with that fake ass passport at the airport? The one of the TSA literally pulled me to the side and said, "Don't never come in here with no shit like this again." Literally, because it looks like a fake fraudulent ID that you're trying to pass off as some sovereign nation or government. And they look like, what the fuck is this person coming in here with? Excuse my damn Hebrew.
Right. Somebody says spiritual birth age. That's right.
Yeah, your spiritual birth age.
You're 14 years old.
Oh yeah. I'm at teens, rather wilding out at that teenage years, 14 years old.
Yeah, I see that. That was on March 1st, 2015. Yep. So you were in there till 2019, 4 more years. You were in there 18 years.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a long
How much did you have to pay for this passport?
$100.
Okay.
Yeah,
they gave a $50 discount this year, and we never received the ones from before the pandemic. We paid.
Oh, they give discounts now.
Oh, this year. Oh, so this
they got coupons and all types of stuff, pandemic discounts and all that stuff.
He tried to implement the mark of the beast.
Oh yeah, that's
why was there a barcode? Yeah, like what is that barcode supposed to be doing anyways?
Well, that was another fantasy operation he said that he was going to start up. It was so crazy. He said with the unit work, you were going to have unit work where you had to pretty much be scanned into unit work. Like you were supposed to have like a little badge ID where whatever unit leader was out there would be able to scan and verify that you was out at the unit doing unit work.
Right.
This dude went into so much madness with some of the stuff he was saying. It's like people are not really just picking up. Like he said stuff that can't happen anymore. And y'all are still holding on to it, but y'all have selective memories. You now want to remember what you want that he said, because there's certain stuff that is too convenient for you to forget. It's going to be your best bet to forget your leader said that. So that way you don't have to really stand on none of the stuff that he said. That's why they're backtracking all the stuff he said now.
Yeah. They, I mean, when it's like there's always a new prophecy that seems to kind of disannul another prophecy every time something new comes out. We're going to go to Israel now. And it's like, okay, but they were supposed to be a building built from the ground up.
5 New York City blocks.
Which would be billions.
$144 million is what the project was going to cost. Yet one New York City block cost $2.2 billion. But you're going to get 5 blocks for $144 million. And one block costed $2.2 billion 10 years ago. We was just ignorant and didn't do no research.
Right.
But that's why I say you can't act like this stuff didn't happen, because that place reset the way you logically perceive things. That's what people don't understand. The human brain is much like a PC, like a computer. Once it gets hacked and downloaded with a virus, most PC viruses are self-replicating. If you don't get that virus cleaned, your mind is going to keep replicating parts of that virus. And that's what some people are still on with this Kool-Aid they drinking from that place. Nothing wrong with researching the Bible, studying the Bible. But when you to the point where you still feel like you're on this mission, like what they had us on, you're going to find yourself in a deep-ass rabbit hole. And you're going to lose your mind doing it, too. I'm just tell y'all flat, I done known a couple of brothers, none on here, some that I can't talk to no more, because they couldn't let go of a healthy detox from the ways of the ICGJC, and they snapped and literally lost their mind. months. Like, it's like, I'm like, brother, what happened? And you can't shake them up out of it. That's a dangerous doctrine to keep on playing with after the Lord has liberated you up out of that stuff. You got to really just take your time with deciphering information and going on your search. I mean, you got to be comfortable in your own skin as you on these search. We trusted in men, and they understand it for a long time. And as we see, 99.9% of the time, when you put all that trust in men, you get let down, man. You have to have some fortitude and confidence in your own self. And people, that's what they're afraid of. They're afraid of to stand on their own as men and women and just say, man, I got to be responsible for myself, my own research. When you really look at that doctrine, it's the easiest religion to make it to anyway. You don't really have any real discipline that you're required to do in that place. Really, all as long as you got a seat in there, you're being told you're going to make it. Mm-hmm. As long as you didn't do nothing with the leadership that got them upset enough to throw you out, you're saved in their opinion.
Right.
That's why everything else crazy is going in there. That's why I could, and that's why I meant to say the pot calling the kettle black, because I'll be blessed is the term I use. If the 3 Negroes that was accusing me of stealing all types of funds, because Amonte Michael Paz tried to pull that BS that he did with Martha Wah with me too, where he was trying to scream into the phone at the top of his lungs. And as he had that phone, I just had my phone just off to the side. Like, this dude really thinks he's doing something. I'm just looking at the phone. Like, he really thinks he's doing something, screaming in this phone. And he thinks my ear is right there on this phone. That man's in for a rude awakening. But I'll be blessed if the fact that the same Negroes that was accusing me of staking funds did not just recently have their own special session in trial for stealing millions of dollars from the church. Basil wasn't a part of it, but Tazapuan, Rakai Kazak, and Amas Bakapaz, I'm not sure if he was in up on this recent scandal. But it's like, man, come on, man. It's 20 going on 2024, just about. And you got the same Negroes coming doing the same stuff. Taz was stealing from you. Now you got this new group of brothers coming in. They stealing from you. I'm sorry. The dirty dozen that runs that place now, the ones y'all call y'all 12 apostles, the dirty dozen, they know what's going on up in that place. They have enough access to all the records, all the finances to know that Tazadaki was juking the congregation, and none of this stuff that he was talking about setting up has been set up. All these operations, you're trying to tell me it's too hard for y'all to set up getting a church set up in a new area? I mean, basic stuff. IUIC, and I'm not advocating join IUIC, but these dudes is international now. Come on, man. I mean, at the end of, put up that last clip of this sister. That's where I'm ending it. That's where we're going to end it at, brother. Okay. The one I sent you with Mrs. Ye. And I hope that your congregation sees this, sister. It's all out of love.
Which one is this?
The one I sent you in that text, or they asked me to come back a couple of years ago.
Yeah, that's right.
That one.
Now, so how long did it take for you to kind of shake this place as far as the fear? Was there still some fear when you left, real quick, before I put this up?
I think I seen one red moon after I then got out of that place like the month later and got a little bit scared. And after that, I shook it off.
Gotcha.
Literally, when I say shook it off, as far as the fear, I was good when I talked to Mathawan on the phone and was giving him his last little instructions. I was good then. The only thing that we had to say had to be shook off is the doctrine.
Right.
Because, of course, when you leave out, you're still kind of pro-Israel a little bit. You might be anti-dang Edom for a little bit. Right. What else? What are some other parts of doctrine I had to shake off? Certain parts of dietary. I know people, they're going to hate that. Like, dietary? What do you mean they had to shake off the dietary law? Shook off the dietary law because, I mean, them people don't even realize, according to their own doctrine, They defile themselves more every day than someone that's eating a damn whole hog in South Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
If Christ said it's not what goes in a man that defiles him, but what comes out. And then he gives you all the analogies of what defiles you or what comes out of you, hatred and all that stuff. They eat that stuff for breakfast. That's coming all up out of them, what's defiling a person on a day-to-day basis.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like these doctrines that we was being held under, it's all that laws of Moses and all that. I mean, anyone coming out there, you can pretty much see that stuff has been a change up in that stuff from what I'm seeing. So it's pretty obvious. And once you come into that, I put it this way, aside from a lot of the, and that stuff really don't mean nothing, in my opinion, aside from the different made up pagan holidays and stuff like that, I say a lot of these Christian churches got it closer than these Israelite camps. As far as understanding what the overall philosophy that Christ was teaching and giving the people, they are much closer than these different Israelite organizations.
Right.
So shaking that stuff off is the first part, is understand. I'm not telling anyone you got to go as far as if you still don't believe you can eat certain things and all that, you still want to keep certain law and all that. Just knock yourself out upon all that. But I'll tell you that the healthiest way is to just start over and read without the BHI glasses on as you're reading these verses. Like I said, Hebrew lenses is how some of these people be reading the Bible still.
Right.
It's like, how do you got people that read the Bible and they have a question on something before they even get to the end of the context of a verse? You got some people on payroll. You always have people in payroll, and I see that in the comments. You got some people on payroll, but I mean, if they don't have enough, what they do, I put it this way, they could have implemented really some type of payroll system throughout all the ranks, but that was never the intentions.
Right.
I remember he promised us that a while ago too. He said you'll know the difference between a general and a bishop by the car that the bishop is driving.
He said that?
See that now? Yeah, he said that.
The car.
I didn't even get into when he's trying to open up the financial plan for the nation. I mean, it's endless. I just wanted to come on and kick the can a little bit tonight, and dang, we'll never forget on all this foolishness that y'all are putting out there. And it's good because I'm hearing people are still waking up. Like I said, I heard someone just came out from I want to say Ohio, and I want to say I think this is a diehard sister in Ohio that just came out recently. And if she's listening, I hope she's separated from Hebrew doctrine. I'm not even going to say the doctrine, the BHI doctrine, doctrine of the ICGJC. Because I've run across other Israelite groups out here where I feel their understanding is still off. I'm not talking knuckleheads. I'm talking like people like just real messianic Israelites, the ones that believe in Yeshua and everyone can come in. And you meet some of these brothers and they cool down to earth brothers. They just have their faith. I'm not knocking that because it's not filled with the hatred and mind control. But like you said last week, there's a very thin line between a cult and a religion. Like I said, when we I'll say that for when we go on the brother's show.
Gotcha. All right, let me bring this up then. Can you see anything yet? What do you see? Let me see.
I don't see nothing.
No.
Right
Okay,
now.
never mind. Here we go. Search results. Yeah, here we go. All right, so
I'm with you too on that, Ivan. I see you. I ain't ate no dang pork chop and all that type of stuff. There's certain stuff where, and that can just be the mentality of it, where it's just like, it still just gets me. So my point is, though, we're not under all that stuff. And any person that's really read and done their homework on this, what they see, we're not under all those different laws that Peter said our forefathers, Peter, the apostle said, all these laws which our forefathers could not keep. And you got a Negro is twisted and corrupted in his mind in 2023, thinks he's keeping all these laws. Yeah, okay. But yeah, this was it. So this was a sister sent me a thing. Those can see what it is. I ain't gonna call her out on blast, but send me this April 2022. Shabbat Shalom. Shalom, sister. I'm just seeing this from a month ago. Yeah. So I'm asking her how her and her baby been, because this sister used to catch a lot of hell with a knucklehead baby daddy, like probably 50% of the sisters in there that was married to men out in the world, and you're getting bogus counsel how to deal with this knucklehead, and he's walking all over you. Yeah, one of them type sisters. Yeah, Shabbat Shalom. We're to wife. See, steady as she go. How are you? And are you coming back? That was her response to me. Now, keep in mind, I'm excommunicated, so you're not even supposed to be talking to me at this point. But like I told you earlier, what is this that's going on right now? This is a sister saying, damn, sir, I miss you. That's all that is. That's why I look at my response underneath that.
Yeah.
So am I coming back? And that's where I put my response under that. Tawab, huh? For those that don't know Hebrew, Heblish. I call it Heblish because it's not real Hebrew. Tawab means good. So I asked her the question, good, huh? And I said, then this is my sarcasm, because I always used to joke with my congregation like this. But that's why I put it. I said, yeah, good, huh? I said, you can take the game face off for 2 seconds, because that's what she's trying to do. I know the teachings got stale and dry after I was gone, because these brothers was boring. I'm sorry. There was a couple, 1 or 2 teachers that was all right. Most of them brothers was stale and boring on the damn mic. There was no life that kept your attention into the class. Some of them brothers damn near fall asleep on their damn selves. They is so boring what they teaching. But where was I just at? I know the teaching got stale after I was gone, and that's why I put come back. It seems like nothing is going on other than the online classes. The men aren't going out in the streets anymore, because this is Prime 22. So there was no camps out there. And I just told her, y'all let IUIC take over the Israelite movement. And I pretty much just told her the 2 holiest men on earth haven't said nothing since April 1st. And from there, she ended up getting off Facebook when she seen I was Antichrist lingo. So she got off Facebook for a while, and now I see that she's back on, because I just went to there to see, can I find that text? So I hope her superior, I can't say that, because her superiors will see that and they'll let her stay in, just because I said I hope they put her out. But she's breaking orders. Y'all should damn put her out. Free her.
You're right.
So this is the type of stuff that's going on, because brothers and sisters, as much as these brothers and sisters be lying to themselves and act like they hate you so much, them brothers and sisters miss the hell out of some of us that was up in there. For those of you where you had a real rapport with people, some of us, we got 10 years plus of people that we really vibed and clicked with. We've been at each other's houses, we done cooked with each other, went out to movies, all types of stuff. We done had drinks after camp, all that type stuff. You can't tell me that these brothers, I just hate that nigga now. No, it's an act that they have to put on to save face for the group, for the organization they belong to. Because that's why some of y'all will see these people out in the streets and they'll still say what's up to you. If there's not other people that they got a front in front of, they see you just by themselves, they'll still damn say what's up. Because they know the hostility is not that serious. They don't understand why you're not there no more. But they just know for sake of the organization, they really can't deal with you no more. But the people is lying to themselves, and eventually that mind is going to reset where they're going to see like, man, I lost. Because how does that not affect you? You have to say this too. For those members that's up in there acting like, oh, I don't care that person's gone. If you got people that you grow close with and now you lose them, let's say they were to die or something and you could never talk to them again. And I'm talking in the midst of you being cool with that person, that's going to catch you off guard. It's the same analogy for the ICGJC. It was all good just a week ago until I went to council. And now that I had an issue with someone personally in the council, now the whole congregation has a problem with me. I could have went into council and I had a problem with the bishop at the time. That has nothing to do with the other 150 members of the congregation because I had an issue with the bishop. People are not even seeing how twisted your mind is getting with this, where it's just like, that's not even logical. I don't have no problem with this brother because he had a personal problem with a brother or sister. Now I can no longer talk to this brother for the rest of my life or his life. It doesn't make sense.
Hey, man. Well, I appreciate you coming on, man. I know we've been going at it for 3 hours now. I think we've been talking.
Yeah, I kept you up. I knew you was tired. I said, this brother coming on after work, I'm gonna keep him on for a little extra time anyway.
Yeah, man.
To talk about.
Yeah, this is gonna be there's gonna be another time though. Hopefully I could get you back.
Oh yeah, no, we can't stop until it's just all done. I can't really show it because of the laptop. But it's like, brother, all this paperwork, we haven't even went into the deception within each one of these different ministries, which was called departments. I mean, each one of those departments was instrumental in further digging you deeper into that cult. From the DOZ, where he could get an extra $40 out of you and further indoctrinate you, the Young Men's Academy, the Young Princess Academy, the New Hebrew Academy, everything, all these different departments and operations, it's all busy work to keep your mind off of what's really going on. That's all pointing back, like we always say, follow the money. If people want to find out what's going on with this, I'm not big on this one yet. I know some of y'all is on this. I know brothers are going to hit me on this one when I say this too. I'm not big on this whole war thing in Israel and all that right now. It's prophecy right now. I'm not seeing it like that just yet.
Right.
But we're just on that whole thing. I always say that just follow the money and you'll figure out what a lot of stuff is about. That's all. So I'm going to tell you what, if you're thinking about that this is all major prophecy over there in Israel right now, I'm going to just say, just follow the money. Look at some of the re-excavations and things they want to build in Israel. You might be surprised over saying like, damn, maybe this is a whole big real estate grab right here. But that's just my 2 cents on that.
Got you, man. Well, I'm gonna keep it going for a little while here. I think somebody wants to get on, but I don't know. He's saying he needs some help. But I'm gonna say shalom to you, captain of 150K, chief priest Kabari.
Oh yeah, we got new ranks now. I outrank every one of you chief priests in the ICGJC. I'm your captain of 150,000 over all your brothers. So just keep that in mind. I'm gonna have these brothers at a mighty Shabbat real soon.
Right. Well, I hope you come back real soon too, man. Appreciate you coming on here for November 1st. This is the 7-year anniversary of the church raid, which we will also never forget.
Oh yeah, we'll never forget. Like I said, 11-1.
Yes, sir. All right, man. Well,
I'm gonna just put this out there too. Friendly disclaimer for my brothers that's been trying to reach me, because a few brothers have been trying to reach me for a second. This is what I've been on. I've been putting this together. I wanted to get my talking points together with Miguel, so that's why I've been kind of busy. But I'll be hitting brothers on the horn too. I know a couple brothers want to politic with me and build on some things. So I'm be a little bit more freed up now. Even though we're gonna get another show coming in soon too. I just gonna send you whatever material you want to go over. You know, we got a lot of stuff we didn't even pull up yet.
Yeah, I was just looking at the Purim poster. We got council requests. We got 2018 debt, holy event questionnaire. There's a whole lot.
Well, how can you have debt for 20? Well, no, they got 7 years to collect on the debt, right? See, some of y'all's debt that's in the ICJC, they ain't even keeping the laws with y'all. Some of y'all's debt, if it's past 7 years old, they got to relinquish the debt anyway.
Right.
They ain't reading them scriptures in people up in there.
That's how it's supposed to work. That's right.
So I'm just saying that mind. But yeah, brother, I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna let you get the other brother on. Always a pleasure coming on, and yeah, I'll be on sooner than later.
All right, man. Talk to you soon.
Everyone that's on, peace and love and blessings. And like I said, for those, like I said, Miguel, we still have our, well, like I said, we good. But for those that's just coming out, I just say, if you're really holding on to your biblical beliefs, just read your Bible on your own. That's what I just tell you. Don't be looking for, go back and just read it on your own. There's a lot of like-minded brothers and sisters that have come up out of this. They got their minds right. You can politic with them and all that. We ain't starting no new cults and none of that. If you talk to me, you're just going to be getting my opinion on something, and that's it. It's not going to be, brother, this is the doctrine right here. Thus saith the Lord. Brother, we just came up out of that. If you still want to put people through that, not me, brother. That's not what I'm going to do with people. But other than that, brother, like I said, salute, and I'm going to get at you a little bit later.
All right. Sounds good, man. Talk to you soon.
All right, brother. Peace.
Thanks, man. Peace. All right, man. That was Brother Jarari. I do want to have this brother Shaul Yisrael on real quick. He looks like he needs some help, so I just want to give him the opportunity to talk. I think you have yourself muted. But you are on the live right now. Welcome, sir. If you can hear me, welcome.
Shalom, brother. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. We can all hear you now.
Shalom, brother San Miguel. Meanwhile, thanks for bringing me up. Currently in the hospital, brother. Fellow Hebrew Israelite. Been signed to serve Yah for 15 years. Currently in the hospital. With some infirmities. Need your prayers. Need support. Before I take myself into the hospital, I'm currently homeless until I had to check myself into the hospital. So I need your prayers and support. And if it be your mind, can you put forth my information to the community? I do need your support and prayers. So I'll put my information in the StreamYard chat.
Yeah, that's I could do that for sure. I'll put your information. So you're in the hospital right now?
Yes, sir. I put a video up where I'm at. To my hospital room, and me in the hospital bed. To show be transparent. That's why I'm speaking to you from now in the hospital.
Got you. You say you put a video up? Or
Yeah.
you have a channel? You have like your YouTube channel where you
Yes.
talk about stuff. All right. So
but the video where I'm at in the hospital.
Yeah, I put your Cashapp up here on the comment section. So if people want to help you out, they could do that.
Yes, sir. And the video where I'm at right now in the hospital, I put in the StreamYard chat.
Oh, okay.
You can see where I'm at right now at the hospital.
Can we see you right now though on the chat, or you want to keep it like this?
Yes, because I got nurses and doctors coming in and out. Only time I'm free when the nurse and doctor not in here, but nurse and doctor in the hospital room with me right now. So they're drawing blood, so
yeah,
I can't have the video open.
I see the video though, because I have the link here. I'm just gonna share it real quick.
Go ahead.
So people can see it, and then I'm gonna put the volume up on that. So give me a second here.
Yes, sir. Take your time.
Are you part of a group at all, by the way?
No, sir. I'm here in Roxbury, North Carolina.
North Carolina?
There's no Roxbury, North Carolina. There's no group as yet.
Oh, okay. Well, which part? Okay. Well, which are you part? You're not part of an organization?
Oh, no, sir. Okay. Independent.
I'm gonna play it here.
Trying to start my ministry.
You're gonna start a ministry?
Yes.
Yeah, I used to be in the ICGJC, but I'm not part of it.
Shalom, family.
No. Here you go. Here's your video.
This is your beloved brother Shaul Yisrael coming back again for another video petition. As said for family, these video petitions is for the entire body of Messiah Yeshua, the entire family of Yahweh. I need your prayers, your supplications, your intercessions.
Yeah, but so this is a video just so people can see. I'm gonna scroll down. See if I can get your name on there.
Be a blessing, be a help to you, beloved brother. That's where I be at.
Okay, so that's it right there. That's your username, Shaw Yisrael. It looks like you put up. You got music too. Do you put up music, or are these podcasts?
Messages.
Okay. Abba Yahweh is the source of faith. Okay, man. Well, thanks for coming on. I'm gonna close this live. I'm gonna end it on that. So I appreciate you coming on. You could come back at any time, and I could get you on, maybe on a different show. We talk more.
Thank you, brother.
Right.
Here's my number.
Put it in the private chat where you because you already sent the video. Where you sent the video at, put it there. Your phone number, right? Or you want to put your phone number out?
Yeah. You can put it out. My number right there. You want to give me a call? This community, give me a call. Give you encouragement, well wishes. Numbers in the StreamYard chat.
Yeah, I see it in the private chat.
Yeah, you're welcome to post it.
All right, cool. Let me do that.
Post.
I don't know if somebody's asking for your contact in the chat, or I don't know if this person's talking about somebody else, but there's his phone number if y'all want to hit him up. Words of encouragement. If you're a fellow Hebrew Israelite, you got a brother here that's in help, that's in need of your help. So, all right, man. Well, have a good night. And I'll talk to you soon. All right.
Thank you, brother. God bless.
Thank you, sir. Have a good night. All right, y'all. So that's it. We're gonna end it at that. This again is November 1st, 2023. November 1st, 2017 was the raid of the Israelite Church of God in Jesus Christ. It's been a long time coming now. For y'all that are still in there, I mean, what are y'all still doing in there? It's about that time. It was the Day of the Dead. It is the Day of the Dead today, and it was when it happened back then. And I have an instrumental that I actually looped up and put it out on that day, on the same day of 2016 when it all happened, November 1st, 2016, 7 years ago. But here we are 7 years later, man.